Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And do you recognize my voice?
Here's my buddy Andy.
That's right. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. And as always, joined by, here he comes. He's dancing his way in. Here he goes. Uh-oh, what's he looking for?
Hold on, you got to stop the music.
Stop the music? What?
We got to, here, I brought the pole lock. We have to dance around it.
Wow.
Wow.
Nick's working with props today.
Wow. I had no idea. Well, here we go. Let's continue. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, dancing his way across our podcast studio. It is Nick Pollock in the house.
It's like the maypole. People dance around the maypole.
It's a wooden pole with a master lock on it. Does it say pole lock on it?
It doesn't. It's you just,
Okay.
Well, you don't need it to say it. It's
it has
self-explanatory.
it has a label on it. I didn't know if it said something.
It's like when you tell a joke and then explain it. It's
world's best pole
don't
lock.
kill it. By
We've got
explaining
Polak top over here working off props.
pole lock
Cabbage top.
Pierogi top.
Oh yeah, over there on the couch, across from Nick. You want him? We got him.
Succumb to my power, my age, and my weight. All of which are considerable.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the breakout star of the podcast medium. That's Chris L. And he is here on Pot of Thunder today. But did you hear a fourth voice? I think you did.
Here come old prune balls. The piston is overall.
For the first time in 18 months, in our presence, Chris Jericho is back.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
I got to be honest with you guys. Well, first of all, I didn't even remember singing that to you guys, and you turned it into this great clip. Second of all, this is a true story here from being during the pandemic. Last time we saw each other was February, I think it was 29th, 2020.
Yep.
Literally 11 days later, the world shut down, and I lost the world title on the 29th.
Yes.
11 days, so they should have just kept the world title on me. None of this
That
shit
could
would
have been
happen.
part of it.
But when you guys opened the door, because we've done a lot of probably 6 to 8 shows over the last year.
Probably more than
Maybe
10.
more than
I don't
10,
know. Yeah.
But actually seeing you guys in person was a nice. It was nice feeling. You know.
Nice to see you too.
It was exciting to hear you doing your Paul Stanley impression in the hallway with
yeah.
our door closed.
I didn't even know what room you were in. I was just hoping you'd find me. I remember it was the 5th floor.
Just walking down the hallway until someone opened a door. Huh?
Well, it's funny because I have a Grey Goose here, a post-show Grey Goose, and there's some cubes in here, and I did see you in the lobby getting ice.
At the Canterbury Hotel. That's what he says, which I think is no longer with us in Indianapolis. But whatever.
It's great to be back is my point.
We're happy to have you back. It's exciting to be here in the same room together, burning the midnight oil with some pizza. And
That's kind of what we
beverages.
do.
Yeah.
We start late. You know.
Yeah. It's actually 1:17 as we begin this. So
On a Sunday night, too.
Yeah.
You guys don't have to go to work tomorrow?
No, man, Labor Day.
Oh,
We can go
nice.
crazy. We can go crazy today.
That's perfect.
We're partying in room 516.
Uh-huh.
My goal is to have the security come, and then the big giant friend of yours down there, I can't remember what your name is, you'll just answer the door and just no questions asked. If the security knocks, open the door and just punch him right in the face.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done down by the front door
Why?
when they shook us down on our way in here.
Did they really?
What happened,
Yeah,
Chris?
your AEW guy was busting our balls about gotta have your room key. Can't have you bothering my talent unless you're staying at the hotel. And we're
Did you tell him that you knew me?
No, didn't want to draw you into this nonsense.
Why didn't you have your room key with you?
Because it was me and Nick. We drove separately. We were coming over with Andy
yeah.
and Andy and Rich were in the separate car.
I had both keys in my pocket. We forgot to do a handoff. But going from the venue to here, the 1 mile trip or whatever.
So after the guy refused to let us into the fucking hotel of which he has no affiliation with. I don't know how he became the gatekeeper to who gets to come into the fucking hotel. Okay. So the whole time we're waiting for Andy and Rich, I'm like, okay, the next thing this motherfucker is going to bust our balls about is how many people are in the room.
No.
Okay. Guess what happened? The second all he said was you got to have a room key to get in here. The second these two guys show up with the room key, what's the first thing he says? All of you guys are in one room. I looked him right in the eye. I go, yeah, we're two gay couples, okay? Anything else? He's like, well, hey, it's 2021. I don't care. It's like, fuck you.
He's giving me the proverbial, my name's Paul, that's between y'all.
Yeah.
Then why the fuck did you ask me then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was going to be like, okay, the room key isn't going to be good enough for this dickhead. He's going to be raising a stink about how many people are in the fucking
Well, the
room.
problem is, though, is that there's all these fans that stay in the hotel because they know we're here. So they're all hanging out in the lobby in the hotel and the other. You guys were not doing any of that. You're walking to your room.
Yeah.
I don't care about if I meet Marco Stunt and frickin', Thunder Rosa. You coming up here to do a podcast with me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the funniest part to me is that happened at like 11 o'clock, and at 1:20 or whatever it is now, Chris is still as pissed off about it as he was when it happened.
Did you just meet him? He'll be talking about it the next 3 times I'm on the show.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't let shit like this go.
It's like me when he called me a C-level celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
Still bothers me.
I was nervous in the room at that. That was the first show we did together. I'm like, oh, boy. How's
You almost
this gonna
thought there was
go?
going to be a fist fight.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, easy come, easy
The
go.
whole
He's going to walk out.
The whole reason we ever started interacting with him was because I was talking shit about him on every episode.
That is true.
Yeah.
So let that be a lesson to you young people out there. You want to get far in life, talk shit about as many people as you can.
That's
And you might end up friends with them and sitting on the same couch.
Exactly right.
Doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I was watching some of the we just mentioned there was going to be a fist fight. I was watching a Paul Stanley rap video. They do, they like stick together a bunch of his raps all on like a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
And this was really early on when he had the crazy Brooklyn accent with some fight breaks out at the concert. He's like, hey! This is a rock and roll show, not a rumble. And I was like, that is a forgotten word. That needs to be used more.
Yeah.
There's going to be a rumble tonight.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Almost a rumble by the front door, I'll tell you.
It's a rock and roll show, not a rumble.
It's like, what do you think? What do you think? You're playing a version of West Side Story? What's going on?
There's going to be a rumble tonight. We had to do a commercial once for the Royal Rumble where they had us all dress up in West Side Story outfits. And we literally were kind of like the Sharks and Jets, whoever was on each team, and we had to sing the song, there's going to be a rumble tonight. But it starts out with finger snapping. It's like, So, everyone has to get a close-up. Now, Ric Flair, one of the greatest, if not the greatest wrestler of all time, the worst finger snapper.
Really?
Couldn't do it on time. So I had to stand right in front of him just off camera and go, 1, 2, 1, 2. And
So you just couldn't keep the time?
He couldn't go.
Wow.
He'd be like Steve Martin in The Jerk, like Nathan.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying
Nathan
to
Johnson,
light
Nathan Johnson.
Naven R.
It's
Johnson.
like he's trying to light a match instead of snapping his fingers.
exactly.
It's just like,
But yeah, and that was to the blues. He couldn't do it, but then once the big band music came on,
He was all into it, right?
He was perfect. Yeah.
So that's something I can say I did with Ric Flair that no one else did. Helped him keep his West Side Story snaps on point.
there you go.
Most likely.
Yeah.
See, the people listening to this show are like, oh my gosh, we're learning stuff
Yeah,
we never knew before.
They're going to pause it and go look for that commercial on YouTube.
They will.
and-
You can
and they'll
find
see
it.
Yeah.
You can find it.
And now they're back.
And here they are. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today we have to get down to business. What are we doing? What's going on here, Nick?
I don't know. I wanted to set the mood. A song that I thought next time we hang out and record a podcast, I just wanted to play the chorus of this song.
All right, well
because
then-
I think it's appropriate for the setting.
Then here we go.
We got a message that you all should get to check in to the hotel rendezvous. We invite you to the hottest date in town tonight. Beginning soon as you got
Ric Flair could. Oh, it's a tall order.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Just show your room key.
Yeah. I thought about that sometime last summer, I think.
Really?
Which song is that? Who is that?
That's Heat Wave. That's Rod Temperton's old.
I like that. Oh, Rod Temperton, who wrote Thriller.
Yeah, he was with this group. So.
I actually liked that song. That was a good song. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I think it set the mood. Is it going to be guaranteed satisfaction tonight, though?
Yes.
I don't know where we're going here, and we'll see. I think so.
Guaranteed.
So far, I mean, if we stop the show now, it's been a slam dunk. So
Yeah, pizza, Grey Goose, and Dainties.
yeah,
I'm good.
we can't go wrong.
I just want to see Rich punch out the security guard. And
He'll do it.
I'll leave.
Rich is a problem.
Rich will do it.
That's why he's always here.
I'll tell you some.
One of the many
I'll
reasons.
tell you some stories from his hockey days later.
Yeah,
Nice. No helmets either.
he's
back
a
in those
trouble.
days.
Yeah, he's not that old. No helmets. No. How old do you think he is? Craig McTavish over there.
Rich with his giant afro and no helmet.
No purple helmets. That was my Chris L imitation. No purple helmets, maybe.
It's like Chris and Mr. Ed and I don't know what else.
Eeyore mixed together. Mr. Ed. All right. So, are we going off the listener submission list, Nick?
My understanding is no.
Oh, we're throwing it
But
out.
hey, you know what? It's if there's ever a time to go off the submission list, it's tonight because it's been 18 months since we weren't in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we kind of made it a dealer's choice tonight. We had a lot of different suggestions. I'm not sure which one you chose, but I threw a couple into the hat. I know that for sure.
Yes.
One of them, we won't mention, would literally have made Chris L's head explode.
Yeah.
He would have.
Is it that one? Are we doing?
We're not doing it. No,
But
No, I
it's
don't
one
think
of
so.
the ones he threw into the hat, Nick.
no, it's not my
It was.
suggestion.
It came from this side of the room.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
I actually saved
Yeah,
it
he's-
for you, Chris L, because they thought of it, and I was like, Chris will lose his mind.
Yeah, he stuck up for you.
Yeah.
I think at this hour of the night after a long day, you probably would walk out and wait in the car.
Well, especially after the confrontation at the front door.
Well, that's the thing. You wouldn't be able to go outside because you wouldn't have your car keys. You got to show your car keys to get outside.
Yeah, exactly.
well, you know what? This song is on the list.
Oh, nice.
See, there you go.
Someone's-
Coincidentally.
Wow.
Someone's getting a sticker.
Yeah. And that someone is Mr. Tyler W.
Nice. Tyler W.
Where do you live, Tyler?
Is he an Alcoholics Anonymous or
He might
doesn't
be.
give his last name?
No, I mean,
Oh, it's Chris L.
Chris L.
He's just the mysterious Tyler W.
some people like to keep a little mystery.
They don't want to admit. They don't want it to be known that they listen to this show.
Yeah.
Interact
That's-
with us.
It's more probably for their professional life.
They've got careers. All right. So, do you have the information in front of you, Nick?
I do.
All right.
Before you say, can I just say one little story? When Steven Adler was on the Eddie Trunk show talking about, yeah, dude, I was in AA with Steven. Take two. I was in AA with Steve Perry, and we were talking, and Eddie's like, hold on a second, dude. You can't say
AA with
Who you
who
were
you're
with.
in AA with.
Yeah, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no.
You just can't do that. It's like, oh, I didn't know. It's like, it's Alcoholics
That's
Anonymous.
the second A.
Exactly. So, sorry. Go ahead.
He remembered the first one. He couldn't remember what the second one was for. All right. Nick, are you ready?
Sure.
All right. Well, let's turn the microphone over to a pre-recorded version of Chris Jericho. Here we go.
All right, Hamill. This one's called
A Little Ain't Enough.
Off of
A Little Ain't Enough.
by the band.
David Lee Roth.
Ow! Ooh.
And ladies and gentlemen, there is
Nice.
a video for this one. So, yes.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah,
to
you
be
are.
honest with you. So this was produced by Bob Rock.
Okay.
This was the follow-up to Skyscraper after Vi and Billy had left the band.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when he got a hotshot guitar player called Jason Becker, who now is kind of a warrior for MS, multiple sclerosis. ALS.
Yeah, Lou
which-
Gehrig's disease.
Which is a total drag. We'll get the sad story out of the way. He played so many great riffs on this record, And before he was able to play one live show, he started having problems with his hands, and then just deteriorated from there. And one of my big rock and roll regrets as a fan was that we never got to see a David Lee Roth show with Jason Becker on guitar, because he was a combination of Steve and Eddie, and I think it would have been just really cool to see his interpretations of that. Having said that, it's a great record, and I have more stories about it. But Chris, you ever heard this song before?
Oh yeah, very familiar with it.
Gotcha.
Have you ever seen the video before?
I can't recall if I have offhand. It might be one where I see the opening scene or two and remember that I've seen it before.
So when I was first, this came out, I think, in like February of 91, and I started wrestling October of 90. So right early in my career, I was driving down to the venue, the bowling alley, where I had my first official wrestling interview. And I was driving down the street, and they were building up the Roth album that's coming out. And they showed a lot of sound clips, and it was like a Westwood one, like David Lee Roth, Lil Ain't Enough, coming up. And they would play this one riff, bun dun 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 dun, how? And then he would start talking, and they'd play a song. And I remember he was talking about something. He goes, there's a fine line between a pat in the back and a kick in the pants. So let's dance. And I just thought, that's a cool line.
He's got a million of them.
So I went down to my interview, and they said, okay, next week is like the Super Winter Sizzler show, whatever the hell they called it.
Yeah.
We want you to promote the fact that the midgets are going to be on the show, and promote your match that you're going to be there. So I was like, the Super Winter Sizzler, the midgets are going to be here, and we're going to be there. And you know what, Mike Adams, there's a fine line between a pat in the back and the kick in the pants, so let's dance. And he just stood there looking at me, and I stood there looking at him. I was like, didn't work as well when you're not David Lee Roth. Did it?
So he didn't even say anything?
Nothing.
No,
It
no.
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but you figure he'd be like, all right, back to
well,
you.
A 35-year-old David Lee Roth, after touring the world doing this, can get away with it. A 19-year-old Chris Jericho, like an idiot, can't get away with it. And the midgets didn't even care, so it just a total bomb all across the board.
They didn't even show up. They canceled when they saw that interview.
They were barely visible above the turnbuckles anyway. So.
Are we going to talk about that briefly or what?
We probably should, since we brought it up. Oh, we've been talking a lot about Billy Barty in our group
As
chat.
you do.
As you do.
And why were we talking about Billy Barty? Where did it come up?
Who was the one who found short ribs? Was it you?
I did, but
You
there's a
did.
reason for that, because somehow his name was mentioned.
I mentioned the name Barty because I believe one of the top female tennis players in the world, his last name is Barty.
Right.
And I think she won Wimbledon or something like
then-
that, and I brought it up, and then one thing led to another.
And comedy ensued.
Yeah.
So, but I Googled something. I Googled like Billy Barty and something. We're trying to find out if he had his own show, or it wasn't even that even. So I Googled Billy Barty something, and these whole things came up, and we found out that Billy Barty had this show called Short Ribs.
Yeah. With two B's.
It's two B's, and it was kind of a syndicated show. And of course, Billy Barty is a little person, one of the most famous.
And what we learned, the whole cast was little people.
Whole cast was little people, so he's providing work for his kind.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
And one of the writers.
And the
and
clip
so one of the writers, what was it, William Wilhelm III or some asshole?
Oh man,
Sure.
It was William something, but
It's like William Watson Jr. had sued
William Winkler.
William Winkler.
That's
That's
what it
it.
was, isn't it?
William Winkler had sued his boss for not paying him the $300 a show he's supposed to pay him.
Yeah.
And he takes Billy Barty to court. Billy Barty versus the People, led by William Winkler.
And there's a news story about this.
And Billy Barty said he didn't want to pay him, right, because it was a favor to his father that he hired him as a writer in the first place.
what
his
kind of
father-
defense is that?
His favor to his father, Henry.
Right. But like if someone says, "Hey, can you get my kid a job?" and you say, "Yeah," you're supposed to pay them. You don't just let them do
Right,
the job.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
part of the agreement was, "Yeah, and I'm going to pay them."
So there's this real kind of snotty L.A., KTLA 5, Billy Barty, sued by William Winkler Jr. And Chris, what does the reporter say about Billy Barty as he's about to take the stand?
Well, first of all, they have courtroom footage, and you can clearly see Billy Barty there in the courtroom. they close up on him, and just for no apparent reason, this reporter is like, and Barty barely visible above the defendant's table. It's like just taking a gratuitous shot at little people. Just like going back to what we discussed before we started taping. This editorializing and chiming in with your own opinions and news casts, it's not right. You shouldn't do it.
But the best part is after he insults him, he's got like kind of a shitty Barty, barely visible above the witness stand, and then they find out that he didn't win. It's like, it looks like at the end of the day, Barty falls short.
Yeah, another shot.
John Watkins, KTLA News 5.
Any pun that they could think of.
Yeah, just tear this poor guy. Like,
why? It's totally unnecessary.
He created his own show, got it on network, and he's getting buried by the stuffed shirt reporter for being a small guy.
That guy's a Hollywood legend, and he's got to put up with this.
Yeah.
That's some bitter old local news reporter taking shots at him for no reason.
Barty is falling short.
All right, Nick, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Did Tyler W. leave a comment?
He did.
Oh, read it to us, please.
Up-tempo rocker with Roth's vocals mostly intact, featuring great lead guitar, the use of one of Chris L's missing from modern rock lyrics, and a reference to a Peter Criss solo cut.
Mama? Oh, I know what it is.
Cool song overall from Diamond Dave.
Why do you say vocals mostly intact? What does that mean?
Well, because I guess he can't do what he used to do.
Well,
as Gene Simmons will
according to Gene,
yeah.
According to Gene, he's fat, dead Elvis sitting on the toilet.
Yeah.
Was that part really necessary to tag it?
It was completely.
Okay,
Gene taking his cues from this guy reporting on Billy Barty, just firing off these unnecessary shots.
Barty falls short. I'm Dave Simmons. KTLA 5.
Barty was forced to wait outside of the hotel until he could produce a room key. Fucking unbelievable.
Can we really talk about this for a second? Okay. So I read Gene's comment about Diamond Dave, and it was just so completely out of context and just wrong. My last rock show prior to the lockdown was March 2nd in Bakersfield, California, 2020. Kiss with opening band David Lee Roth. It was awesome. Dave was great. I sent you guys the set list.
Yeah.
I think I sent you guys the list. It's not just great. There's a couple like there's a Tobacco Road on there, and there's just a Gigolo, and there's just like Paradise, and then of course he's got the Panama, and he's got a couple more deeper cuts like I can't remember if it was whatever. It was a great set. Maybe there might have even been a little Dreamer on there. Like it was really fucking cool.
I think On Fire was
exactly. And listen, did he sound like Dave in 78? Have you ever heard Dave in 78? He was the shits. He didn't know any words. He's fucked up. I forgot the fucking words. So anyways, bottom line was, if I go to a Kiss show, I would love to see David Lee Roth open because it was fun. The set was great. He had 3 guitar players on stage.
Oh, wow.
They sang great. It was awesome. So then I was subjected to 3 further shows with the frickin' Painter that no one gives a shit about. And then out of nowhere, Gene makes this comment that Dave was terrible and blah, 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 blah. What gives here, guys?
I don't know. Is there backstage drama or is it a financial thing? What was the reason? Yeah, financial thing.
If it's Gene, it's financial.
Yeah.
It's as simple as
I think
that.
Roth was too expensive. He probably didn't make much of a difference on the tickets sold, so he went back to the fucking Painter.
So like we can have this guy just go up there for free and he'll sell his paintings and that's his pay.
But they're doing basically Kiss is doing what every other business is doing, trying to recoup their losses from COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not paying Dave, so I'm going to go on record as saying he sucks.
Yeah, so why say anything? Why not just be like, oh, yeah, he couldn't make the dates?
We talked about this earlier about people that get too caught up in social media.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I bet you Gene heard from a lot of people that were angry about the Painter being on again and had to make a statement.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me the most about Kiss is that, listen, I don't know what Dave's getting paid. Are you paying him $50,000 a night? Listen, I don't know. I'm just going to throw our band in there because I think it'd be a good package. But if it's Fozzy or if it's the Strokes or if it's the Struts or if it's frickin' Greta might be expensive. Now, Dirty Honey. There's bands out there you could probably pay $10,000 a show to.
Yeah.
That would do what Kiss always did, would give younger bands a chance.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's like they're using a painter. Metallica's got Jim Brewer opening. I got in the wrong business if I want to open for my favorite bands.
Yeah.
I got in a band. What a dummy I am.
Yeah.
And it just bothers me. And I think you guys are right. It's a financial thing, so he has to go out of his way to bury it. And in the meantime, he's not just burying it. He's insulting not just Dave, but everybody that enjoys David Lee Roth.
Yeah. And the thing that was really unnecessary, like you said, he could have just been like, oh, you know, it wasn't.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Something
Boom.
vague, but not. I choose to remember Elvis in, what did he say? In whatever.
Comeback special. Or
Something like that. Yeah.
Not
Some
sitting on the toilet.
Not
bloated
his last-
Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, he said dead on the floor or something, didn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah, like even worse though. He said basically saying David Lee Roth has a bloated dead body compared to his.
And meanwhile, Roth is in like better shape than anybody.
I know,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Ripped to shreds, and it just was stupid. It was. And
Yeah.
the best part is that Paul finally does something cool and posts his own thing. Like, Dave's awesome. He's
Yeah.
great. Whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense because Paul would be in talks for that as well for opening, right?
Sure, I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't know. It just was stupid, and once again, it just takes Kiss another rung down the ladder. We're like, just wrap it up already, guys. Enough.
Yeah.
Enough's enough.
Yeah, it's-
What
Just
about
say that Dave couldn't produce his room key and therefore was not allowed on the bill anymore.
David Lee Roth falls short on the Kiss curve. John Simmons, KTLA News.
Well, and then there was Gene's unapologetic apology. I don't know if you saw that.
It was terrible.
It was, I'm sorry if I hurt anybody.
That's the
But
worst.
you guys took me out of context. It's how could we take it out of
And
context?
this is the worst apology you could ever give. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. That is the
Yeah.
most cheese dick apology you could ever get.
Yeah, and then he doubled down by just saying
I was taken out of context.
He blamed anybody who was offended, basically.
And also, he also said that he didn't really say that, but they only chopped it. And my answer to that is everybody records everything anyways. Who did you say that to? Produce the full interview. Let us listen to it. Because I guarantee it was not edited together to make that sound worse.
The whole out of context thing doesn't hold water anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's all recorded.
Yeah, everything's recorded,
You
and
know?
everybody has access to it.
Yeah, I just watched a security video of a security guard doing his job, asking a patron for a card. Guy has a fucking tantrum and made a big fool of himself.
No, I'm fine with him asking for the. Well, actually, I'm not fine with him asking for the key, but if I could deal with that. But in the interim that it took Andy and Rich to get here, I go, when they show up with the key, this motherfucker is going to have a problem with how many people are in the room. And sure enough, right on cue, he's like, all four of you in one room? And that's when I fired back with, yeah, we're two gay couples. What's next?
That was the end of the
What else
conversation.
what do we have to do to get your approval?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't have you bothering my talent. Get out of here.
That is pretty
Fuck
pretentious.
off.
Yeah, that's I hate using that word talent.
All right. So we have to get into this. Are you guys ready?
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
yeah.
Remember, Andy,
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference between a pat in the back and a kick in the pants, so let's dance. I can't remember what the hell it was anymore.
Didn't go over well, huh? Not at all.
Not good. Dude,
Is it-
complete straight-faced.
Is it on video still? Or is
I'm
it-
sure
or-
somewhere.
But you've never seen it.
I haven't
again?
seen it. Yeah, it was on national TV in
Wow.
Canada on TSN. So some of you might see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So look for
Chris
that.
Jericho. Well, don't find it though, because I might get canceled for using the term midgets.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, the Hornswoggled or Red Williams
Well.
don't care.
Well, and that was probably the term at the time. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So hey, let's take a quick break for this sponsor.
I'm excited.
Did you guys love that?
I'm a big fan of this product, and one of the reasons why is I used to use another brand, and it just wasn't doing the trick. This brand, it really kind of made everything so much better, so much easier, and I just really am really happy that I'm a part of their family.
That's why you're you and we're us.
I gave a little
That right
advice to
there.
you guys a couple months ago, and
You
this is
did?
how you do it.
Yes.
Plus, if you carry some of that product around with you, you can get into any hotel lobby you want without any hassle from some dickhead security guard
People
who doesn't
will-
want you bothering his talent.
People will
Get the
merely
fuck
they'll
outta
merely
here.
step aside and let you come through
This
holding this
guy.
product.
Johnson & Johnson dander-free shampoo. I'm John Simmons from KTLA News.
All right, guys. Let's do it.
I like who always ever. Sorry. Oh, this is pure Roth right out of the gate. All right, stop right
off the
there.
bat.
Right off the fucking bat, some kind of chanting African dance, a car driving on an open highway, and then Dave jumping off a giant four-wheel Jeep.
With a large-breasted woman wearing a bikini top and a cowboy hat.
I mean,
standing on the monster truck.
if you don't like David Lee Roth in this time frame, this is 1991, so it was kind of not getting cool. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
This is great. And by the way, he looks cool. He's starting to lose his hair, but he's got it kind of combed over, but it's super long in the back. This is one of my favorite era David Lee Roth. And this record is a great record that not a lot of people have heard. And I know Nick is not going to go listen to it if you haven't heard it.
I've heard it, but I will probably
Lots
go
of
back
great
to
music on it. Lots of great music on it. It was the Forgotten Roth album because it was kind of at the beginning of grunge and all this other stuff. So he was out not cool anymore.
Now, is this the one that has Sensible Shoes on it? That is quite possibly my favorite David Lee Roth solo cut.
Nice.
Great song.
It's lazy, swampy Dave, and it fits it. I agree with you.
Yeah,
on
but
that.
the lead guitar line is so great.
I'm agreeing.
That guitar hook and my favorite line in that movie or that song that I used in the Playboy catalog and that one catalog spread. Nice tight fit. Must be my size. Love it. Yeah. But that whole song is great. David Lee Roth, one of the most underrated lyricists in rock.
I got a good job of making lots of money. I look good and I'm funny. So why am I lonesome, honey?
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
And it also ends with one of the greatest Dave songs. It's a very Van Halen influence. It's called It's Showtime. Once again, great lyric. Oscar, Grammy, triple whammy, cut. It's a take. It's about being in Hollywood, and it just rips, and it's got the shuffle boogie, and Jason Becker, just amazing solo. So anybody that has not heard this album, go listen to it.
See, he's still got all the vocal little tricks there from the early Van Halen days.
And look how good shape he is if you guys are watching the video. Just cut up. It looks great.
Yeah.
How could you not love David Lee Roth?
Yeah.
Gene Simmons, what's wrong with you? I'm sick of this shit.
Gene's just jealous.
I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
Yeah. Just watching this video and many David Lee Roth videos, you realize he probably worked really hard on these videos because it's not like I'll show up and just have some crazy shit happen.
Yes.
He probably had every detail written down and like, this is not to my standard. I need her to have this hat, like this color truck.
And that's how Rob Zombie started getting so much steam, and the fact that he had so much say in his videos and all the stuff.
Yeah.
Dave was like that right from the start.
Yeah, for sure.
That whole sequence at the beginning of Yankee Rose and the convenience store. That is, if anybody has any doubt that David Lee Roth was 100% in charge of that whole thing, from the scripting to the casting to the video direction, it's all Dave.
Yeah.
I'll have a glazed donut and a bottle of anything to go.
And what's the one where he's got the fat suit on? He pioneered the fat suit before Eddie Murphy or Martin Lawrence. What's the one where he's in
Going Crazy?
Yeah, I think it was Going Crazy,
yeah.
and he's in the working the board in the control booth, and he's losing his mind at how great this is.
Yeah.
One more thing I'll say too, if you're not watching the video, the riff is a very cool. It's a pretty heavy riff for Dave.
Yeah.
And that's again Jason Becker, who I'm gonna put over in Cecily on this because his career was cut off short by his ALS. This guy could play solos. He could write riffs. He looked great. He used to do these wicked riffs and then also, what would you call spin a yo-yo at the same time?
Really?
He would play with the yo-yo and play these crazy killer riffs. He was one of those hot shots. He used to be in a band called Cacophony with Marty Friedman, who ended up in Megadeth, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, just a great record, great playing, and just awesome, fun listen.
He's now the emperor of Japan, I understand.
Marty Friedman, yeah, he is.
He's huge over there.
He plays the
literally
Tokyo.
physically huge over there compared to the little people who live in Japan.
He wears giant freaking combat boots with about 8-inch heels on them.
Is that his look?
It is, yeah.
That's his thing.
With his giant curly hair going
Because
everywhere.
he's like into the hybrid of metal and techno, right? It's like that industrial almost kind of scene.
It's called J-pop.
Oh, okay.
So J-pop plays Tokyo Dome, which is 50,000, 60,000, and I think he's in a band called the Bees, and that's BZ. That's what they're called, the Bees.
Okay.
And huge band in Japan.
Okay, that's so weird, but good for him. I'm just glad he was able to rebound so well.
Well, that's not true though, because you know what Dave Mustaine said about him.
Yeah, I do, but I don't have it here. Total fucking Dukla. To do it.
You've kind of turned him into Lars Mustaine.
Sorry.
It's a total fucking Dukla.
I remember when you had Marty Friedman on your show. I did. That's right.
I
thought it was interesting that every time you talked, he would go, like while you were speaking.
That's Japanese style.
Is that like? I was wondering if that was like a cultural thing.
They
That was
kind of
yeah.
That was in Japan when I talked to him.
The whole time he was doing that. I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
yeah,
But
yeah.
Okay, that's
So I
what it
can
was.
Mute him while I'm talking to him. Jesus.
Started slurping noodles as loud as he can while he's talking to you.
to show you respect to the podcast host.
Marty Friedman, rudest podcast guest ever. John Simmons, take till I moves.
Memo to Marty Friedman, you are not Japanese. Dave Dickhead, local Eyewitness News.
Oh, this is great.
Empty pockets never stop me from singing a blue streak. No! I don't think the devil's ever gonna give me back. I don't think so. Staying around here takes patience. That's like a full-time occupation.
Can we talk about some of those lyrics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Staying around here takes patience. It's like a full-time occupation. Empty pockets never stop me from
Singing a blue streak.
I mean, dude, like that's Chris. You nailed it, and people don't talk about. They talk Jim Morrison. Fuck Jim Morrison. David Lee Roth is a great lyricist for the songs that he's singing, which are good time party music, and the lyrics reflect that so well.
and he sounds great here.
Yeah.
It does. It looks great.
A pretty aggressive attack in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And this reminds me of what we talked about last week. Was it last week? No, I don't know when it was. A couple weeks ago, the Rolling Stones episode. That you don't have to be the best at your craft, but you have to have something. And obviously, I mean, this has been said for 50 years. David Lee Roth has a lot of tools.
What you're saying is, as a singer, it's the same thing that Gene says in one of his cool moments. If Dave went on American Idol, if that's even still on, or whatever the hell is The Voice, they'd kick him off in a second. This is all attitude. It's all phrasing. It's all style. That's what he does better than anybody.
The delivery.
And he's also the complete package, like we said. He knows exactly what he wants.
Just the complete package. I mean, where you paused it.
He's got a great package, is what Nick's trying to say.
Yeah, he's got something going on underneath those Zubaz in this scene we're looking at.
Newsflash, David Lee Roth has a beautiful cock. Tom Simmons takes it.
And it's extremely visible over the defendant's table. Dave Dickhead, local Eyewitness News.
This is like a great.
So here's the thing, but this is why the argument between Sammy and Dave. Here's the two biggest differences between Sam and Dave. Roth never imposed any of these sappy ballads on the band,
right?
Like "Love Walks In" or "Feels So Good" or any of that other crap. And his lyrics, light years ahead of Sammy in terms of quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. Like, you can discuss it for days. Like, Sammy's awesome too. He's
sure.
Great singer, great guy. Sammy could sing any Dave song and did many times. Dave refused to sing a Sammy song because basically he can't. It's out of his fucking line.
Yeah.
Sammy's the ultimate party guy. He's great. Nothing beats David Lee Roth. Like, Sammy's a rock star. David Lee Roth is a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
All the way across the board.
Big difference.
There really is a big difference, though, because like I said, Sammy's like Roth would never wear pajamas on stage. Sammy wears pajamas on stage. Have a shot of tequila. Come up and sing with me. Roth is like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
I'll give you a fucking kendo kick in your fucking face, and I'm going to sing some shit, and I'm going to fuck your girlfriend, and I'm probably going to fuck your boyfriend, too, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
So there you go. You know why? Because Lil Ain't Enough for me.
That's right.
Tie in. Dave.
Great. That's great.
I came in and knew. I thought it was there's a giant brick wall, and I saw EV, and he's walking. I thought I was going to say love.
Yeah.
Instead, it says Dave in giant graffiti, and he does the big spinning.
And that's the best dance I've ever seen.
It's called a windmill, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know, what was that like?
He just powered a few towns.
Yeah.
With that windmill move.
Was there some kind of street kid or someone that gave him the spray paint can, and then next thing you know, he painted that whole wall?
Oh, I never got that before.
He gets results
Now,
immediately.
Andy, do you have the lyrics pulled up?
Yeah, I do.
Why don't you give us read the verses so far?
Okay.
Empty pockets never stop me from
Singing a blue streak.
Right.
No.
And I don't think the devil ever gonna give me back.
I don't think so.
And staying around here takes patience. It's like a full-time occupation. I've become diplomatic.
Is that what he says? I thought
there.
it was something maniac.
Oh, I don't know.
It could be one of those ones where they didn't get it right. But go ahead. What's the next line?
I don't know. What the hell?
Okay.
Hey, old... I mean, I'm reading it, but I'm confused. Hey, old mean gal.
Okay.
You know the crosstown bus just rolled? Yeah, I'm the same old number, but we still got time to go.
I think some of those are right.
I think somebody from Japan and Marty Friedman's camp.
I rewound it a couple.
Crash test dummies.
That guy used to be my guitar teacher. No joke. Brad Roberts from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
wow.
He taught me how to play Paranoid on guitar.
And then he went on.
And then he went on to
Test Dummy.
huge success to the point where Weird Al Yankovic even parodied his song.
What was his parody?
It was like
man.
it was something about news, and it was he still did the but it was
Oh.
like kind of talking about stuff that happened to
Okay.
people in the news or something. Okay, here's what I got.
Not his best.
Empty pockets never stop me from singing a blues streak, and I don't think the devil's ever going to give me back. And staying around here takes me. I become diplomatic. Hey, mean old gal, you know the crosstown bus just rolled. Wow. Same old number, still got time to go.
Well, I didn't hear diplomatic there, but I could be wrong. I thought it was I become a something maniac or something like that.
I'm going to go to one other lyric source. And
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get it.
See if we can do better
They
here.
tend to be the same across platforms. I've found that with lyrics
Really?
and like
It's
guitar
amazing.
tablature and stuff. If it's wrong in one spot.
This one says, I've become a diplomaniac.
Maniac. I just
Yes, I
Maniac.
did, baby.
That sounds more like
Yeah,
it.
that sounds like
That's
a Roth.
better. Yeah, diplomatic.
Hey,
Doesn't
mean
make
old
sense.
gal, you know the crosstown bus just rolled.
I like mean old gal. I never heard that lyric in there before.
And the same old number, but we still got time to go. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to rewind it so we could see
I
the
just wanna see-
windmill
yeah,
again.
that's
too.
great.
That-
I honestly thought, and I've seen this video probably 10 times, it's been a while, I thought it was going to say love,
Yeah.
but it says Dave, and you pointed out that the kid gave him the spray can,
Yeah.
and that's what he created.
He's doing it's the Andy Kaufman wrestling move, right? Where he keeps spinning his arms like,
So
don't
you
get close
can't-
to
you
me.
can't
Don't
get-
get close to me.
Yeah. Totally. Oh, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
You have to watch this video, guys. This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so this is amazing. So Roth is in the gym singing. There's a chick behind him doing poses, and right beside him on the fly machine, which is where you work your chest muscles,
Yes.
he's got various chicks with various sizes of boobs working out in bikinis.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And it's edited where they keep every time they do one rep, it changes to a
the
different
next
woman.
girl.
Yeah.
You could never do that nowadays.
No.
No, and plus half the women have their legs crossed, the other half have them wide open.
Good call.
Brilliant. That's a great sequence, right there.
What a great idea! Like for this vibe,
course.
and once again, you don't watch a Roth video to see politics or Bono or Eddie Vedder crying about freaking corduroy, whatever the hell his problem is. I love this.
Yeah. Right.
This is fun.
And again, Sammy era Van Halen.
So good.
You have a video where it says, right now, 10,000 kids are starving in Haiti or whatever. It's like, I don't
Right
wanna,
now,
I
a
wanna
security guard's not admitting a patron for not having a room key.
Right now, I want to see a bunch of hot chicks doing fly presses.
This is so great. I think you have to do a little bit of a rewind on that. Sure. Like I said, I've seen this before, but I had no recollection of that. This is something Dave probably wrote down in 1981 and said, someday we got to use this in a video.
Someday the technology will catch up with this idea.
Yeah,
like the Marvel movies.
Exactly right.
Oh my gosh. I think I know her.
All right, here's how that happened. I'm picturing it. All right, actually, I can see what's happening next.
And
So
before,
great.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to just talk about the music. This is a great, great chorus.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I listen to
absolutely,
this
yeah.
song, my poor wife has to hear me singing it, walking around the kitchen the whole.
It's got a great harmony on it. And don't forget, we mentioned this earlier, produced by Bob Rock. The man knows how to, maybe not write a chorus, but he
Yes,
knows
he
how to
does.
produce one. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I could envision how this casting process went for this video. They put an ad out. All these women showed up, and they said, all right, Dave, who do you want? He said, give me all of them. And that's it. And they all got in the video.
Right.
And then he did some of those dance moves.
Yeah. Hire all of them. And that was it.
Another thing, too, this is just observation. This is not, it's not chauvinistic. I think this is kind of in the 91. Boob jobs were becoming a thing, and you can see a few of them. Primitive, early year breast implants in this video, so it's kind of historical as well. You could watch this in history class.
This is like a time capsule.
It really is. Bring this in your history class and ask your teacher if they can, if you guys can watch this at the end of school.
What was 1991 like? Like this.
Boobs,
What? Who is this cool guy? Can we get him back? That's what everybody would say.
Yeah, the world needs
The world needs a
91
Roth. Yeah, man.
around
Does
this
it
time.
ever?
Yeah.
That's true.
Fucking hell. Everyone's so uptight nowadays. This is the best.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The girls are doing a great job. They're the stars of the show, and Dave knows it. There's nothing bad about this. It's a celebration, and it's a rock and roll tune, and it's awesome.
And just in case if we don't stop it again before the end of the chorus, going right before it goes back into the second verse is one of my it's my favorite part musically of the song, but it's one of my favorite little guitar leads.
Let's check it out.
That I could,
Well, the only
that I
thing
could
I'll
think of.
the only thing I'll say is that we got a glimpse of what's to come, and we're moving from the fly machine to the stair machine.
And Dave's changed his look to his hat on backwards with shades. Which
And
is cool.
me being traditionally an ass man, I'm looking forward to the next sequence here. Nothing against boobs up to the clavicle, but give me.
I'm
going
to give you a Seinfeld. Ass man, I have an ass. I don't have boobs. Give me boobs. Damn.
Oh,
That was
Chris, did you notice in that scene that Dave had a completely bright blue tongue?
I did not notice that.
Eating an
Exactly,
arrowhead.
because you weren't looking at Dave at all. Neither
No.
was I. I just made it up. The point is, all we're looking is at the asses.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to stop after the one line of the chorus. Kept going. There were more girls.
Amazing, and we're sounding terrible. Listen, you watch the ass part is just as great as the boob part was.
Of course it is.
I think Andy's onto something with the way the casting went.
It had to be.
Can I just say too that this might be the coolest that Dave's ever looked, in my opinion? Because other times he always looked a little bit. Maybe 78 Dave is pretty cool.
This is kind of like the California Girls
But
era.
but he still kind of had some weird hair. This at least he's working on his receding hairline. Before he had these really bad bangs, and I don't know. He's got a hat on backwards. I mean, nothing says cool like having a hat on backwards,
He's a
right?
party
And
dude.
he's mugging as he's singing because he knows what's going on behind him.
He knows what's going on at the party after too.
There's a mirror for sure. You know, he's like, if there's no mirror, we're not doing this shot.
Yeah.
More adventures.
He's got a fire extinguisher in his Jeep there.
I think he just ran over Gene Simmons' convertible when Gene was going for a shake in the Domino video. And Dave's like, got a monster truck in his like.
He's gonna spray him with fire.
Hey Gene, enjoy your shake. I'm gonna go to the gym.
He grabbed the fire extinguisher from Alex's drum kit from one of the early Van Halen tours and plopped it in his pink Jeep.
And now he's switched from a backwards hat to a cowboy hat.
And you know this is his personal vehicle. They didn't rent this for the, you know, he was like, yeah.
Well, this is one of his personal vehicles.
Yeah, but it wasn't like.
You want the green one or the pink one?
Exactly.
Ow!
Both.
Yeah, all right.
Now that was perfect commentary when that came on. You just said more adventures. That's exactly.
Did you notice
as he's driving?
Did you notice it? So here's what we've seen so far. He shows up in the big car, and then he's got that great scene by the wall, Dave, and then he goes right to the girls doing the flies. Then he goes to the girls step master, and he goes right to the next adventure. Now he's driving down the highway,
and he's having such a good time.
This is
he's so happy the whole time.
I'm having fun watching this. The unedited version I've seen, he took his hotel room card and threw it out of the fucking convertible.
He didn't need it.
He didn't need it. He said, "I'll walk in anywhere. I don't need it." And he throws it in the air. And it just goes. It flutters into the distance like Forrest Gump. It just goes into the sky.
He ended up having a great time at off-track betting down the street.
It doesn't matter where he goes. He's gonna have a good time anywhere he goes. I think, like what you said, you're having fun watching this. That's part of the magic of this, because you imagine like what his day is like, and you just think he's having like the best time everywhere he goes, like to pump gas or whatever.
And you kind of wish, like I wish I was hanging out with David Lee Roth. And that's what it used to be like. You like man, it'd be so cool to. I remember like it'd be so cool to hang out with Steve Harris.
Right.
Like he must be so fun.
Right.
You know, or like Roth, or like Steven Tyler, or frickin' Lars or whatever. Like you got to go back before we start again. Just the transition from the Stepmaster to Dave's next adventure. It's just so well edited.
Sure.
Tires. Here he. This guy. Who's driving in front of him with a?
I didn't even know there was a woman in the car before.
I love that line, that lyric. That honey, tell me, can you tell that story twice? I don't think so, Mama.
Oh, that's great. Is that a Chris L. favorite lyric?
I think Andy stopped it right before the Mama.
Terrible timing today, but. Hey, if I rewind it, we get to watch this again. So
go to the beginning.
Yeah, start the video over. Who cares?
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
No.
Okay, stop it for a second.
He's about to get a table shower of this scene.
Here's the best part of this, though. So Dave, now his adventures have taken him to the massage parlor.
Yeah.
Now, most hacks in a video, the guy would be like, "Oh my God, I'm so surrounded by hot chicks." Not in a Dave video. Dave's sitting there, could give two shits, and all 5 of the super hot masseuses are getting off on Dave.
Yeah.
He's not even noticing them. He doesn't care. Other ones, like some guy would be like, "What? Boing."
Yeah.
Not here.
No, he doesn't care. This is normal for him.
Yeah, this is
They're
just
lucky
part
to
of
be
his
there.
day, just like everything else that's gone on in this video.
Yeah, I'm believing that you need in your relaxation, but honey, can you tell that story twice? I don't think so, Mama, because there's a function at the junction. Think you better get it already, girl. I might be saying it before. I was born without a silver spoon, but I'm gonna make a stir. What a line!
It's good
That's
stuff.
a great one.
I was born without a silver spoon, but I'm gonna make a stir. Yes, I am.
That's a brilliant lyric, and that's so Dave.
I think "Function at the Junction" is from an old song. I could be wrong.
Well, there used to be a wrestling commentator called Ed Whalen in Stampede Wrestling, super famous because he kind of controlled the territory, and he would always go, if there was like a double down or something, there's a malfunction at the junction. So that's what I know. But Function at the Junction, I'm not familiar with.
I think it's an old song. I'll look it up.
Maybe Ed
just
Whalen's was a play on whatever Nick's talking about.
I think Ed Whalen was a big David Lee Roth fan.
Well, there was
see it.
also Schoolhouse Rock, Conjunction Junction.
That's
What's
true.
your function?
Right.
Yeah, there's a song from the 60s, it says, by Shorty Long, a Motown artist, Function at the Junction.
Wow.
Which makes sense for David Lee Roth that he would quote a Motown song.
Yeah.
Shorty Long was one nickname of Billy Barty, I believe, at one point.
My favorite Schoolhouse Rock was Hotel Room Card. Why is it so hard to get into my doors? You guys remember that one? Sing it with me.
It's a
Hotel
classic.
Room Card. No,
That one hits home a little too
And
much. Right now.
Shorty Barty is long on losing court cases. I'm Dave Dickhead, local Eyewitness News.
Oh my gosh.
And I've always wondered who goes to the massage parlor when the sun is out, and we found out who it is.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, it's him. It's David Lee
Dave,
Roth.
right.
Because like you drive by, you know,
Right.
you're like, it's like 2:00. You're going somewhere. You're like, who's going to the massage parlor right
Dave.
now?
Well,
Dave.
how do you know it's the daylight? There aren't supposed to be any windows in that facility.
Well, I'm just
Is that a
assuming.
spotlight?
yeah.
Maybe a spotlight.
I'm making an assumption that this is chronological, and that's where he was driving
Oh,
while
all
the
right,
sun was
that
out.
makes
but
sense.
maybe
Can I
not.
just say that the one on the left over here standing kind of looks a bit like Valerie Bertinelli?
A little bit.
Oh.
Just
saying that.
interesting.
I'm not saying anything. He was out of Van Halen at that point.
What's up
All
with
bets
that?
are off.
See, I was born
That does look like her.
but I'm gonna make a stir. Yes, I was vaccinated with
Okay, nowadays,
Oh boy. Oh dear.
Now you've made it political.
Oh,
I was about to make it political about the previous scene, and now I don't know what we've got going
yeah.
on.
Let's
but,
let's pretend we didn't see this yet. Just go back.
but I was just about to say, like nowadays, just having 5 Asian women in a massage parlor setting would get you canceled.
Completely.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, that was one of those Playboy things, though, that like whenever they'd have an Asian playmate, even if she was like from Iowa, they would have her like hit a gong symbol and stuff. It's like, what are you
Right.
doing?
Really just-
Yeah.
Like they'd have her
Well,
with the
it's like-
fans and stuff,
Well,
and she's like,
It's like any Japanese. Listen, this is not. It rhymes with Subaru Me, wrestling company that every ethnic person comes out to music that fit like a Japanese person goes like bing bing bing
Yeah.
bing bing bing.
Uh-huh.
If it's a Mexican guy, it's like
Right.
It's like Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
every
Think about
Except
every.
for that was in 1988, and this is 2021.
right.
Bing, 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 bing. Who's using this instrument? Like bing, bing, bing. Marty Friedman doesn't use that instrument when he's playing with the bees.
He can't even find one.
Okay, no. He's like, don't like that one. Not a good.
All right, so
Chaos is breaking out here. on the,
So yeah,
set.
we got a glimpse of what's coming on. And it can only be described as a modern day minstrel show. Is what we're about to see.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
All right, let's play this next scene, but then we're going to have to stop right after because we're going to have some discussing to do.
was vaccinated with a phonograph needle one summer break. And I kissed her on her daddy's
Okay, let me grab this right here.
Oh.
We're all concentrating on the vaccinated by photograph needle, and Dave swinging. What's he swinging in the middle of? A group of midgets.
yes.
Ethel Merman style 1930s swimming opera dance movie. What the hell's going on here?
Esther Williams.
Esther Williams.
Yeah,
What did I
yeah.
say? Ethel Merman? Well, she was involved too.
She might have.
Same.
been.
She was a
thing.
super.
Um,
what a bitch she was.
Yeah, and they've got the Al Jolson face paint.
Oh my gosh, they do too. Right after he had the Asian masseuses, now he's got Al Jolson midgets.
Look how well you can see the eyes and the mouths. I mean,
Oh, my
yeah,
gosh.
that was on purpose.
David Lee Roth, pencil from Hollywood. Bang, 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 bang.
And I'm guessing the hair's not real.
I don't think it is.
That was probably
on Dave
purpose.
or on the guys?
Is that
Yeah.
Billy
Oh, my
Barty
God.
on the top
I
right?
think it is. You know what the best
It's
part
barely visible at the top right of the screen.
is? I think William Winkler
He wrote the video. I was going to say the same. I was waiting to say.
He wrote the teleplay for this.
Yeah.
Which explains why he didn't get paid for it. So.
There's a lot to unpack here, guys. But let me just start off with this. I was vaccinated with a phonograph needle one summer break.
Now that's the
Peter Criss.
nod to Peter Criss from Hooked on Rock
Now
and
let
Roll.
me ask you a question. Do you think Dave ever heard Peter Criss's solo album?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say maybe. I don't
I think
know.
Dave
Who
would dig
knows?
it.
I never heard Dave's. Well, that's a good point. But I never heard Peter Criss's solo album until this year, after listening to your guys' show. It was the
Really?
one I never wanted to listen to. But I was surprised on Hooked on Rock and Roll. He says I was vaccinated
with a Victrola
needle.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a play on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's funny because I remember thinking at the time, like, a vaccination was for polio or for mumps.
Mm-hmm.
And a phonograph needle is kind of a little small. People don't even know what that is now. Small little needle, whatever, like kind of like a tribal tattoo needle or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, I just heard a version of this, and it said I was vaccinated by a Pfizer. It was weird. I didn't understand it.
And then the song just ended.
That
weird.
was it.
Yeah.
And then it played twice. And
Yeah.
that was in.
Played 2 weeks later or whatever.
Exactly.
Right.
And I personally have chosen not to be vaccinated by a record needle because it's been rushed to market. I can't
The record needleless.
I can't trust the research that went into it, so I'm not getting it. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
I was vaccinated with a phonograph needle, and the weirdest thing was I went to the gym and I was doing curls, and there was a multitude of models doing flies beside me, and then I turned to my left, and there was a bunch of girls doing step-ups on the Stairmaster. Very strange.
Well, I'd like to take us back from this very highly controversial conversation you guys are conducting and get back to these little fake black guys here.
This is true. Fake midget, blackface, wig wearing, also like dressed like waiters.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, yes,
Oh, my
waiter grade tuxedos.
Waiter grade. This checks all the boxes of what you can't do now in a video, and also checks all the boxes on what is amazing about this video.
Yeah.
Because Dave isn't doing this out of... People are such fucking assholes nowadays. He's not doing this from racism or politics or blah, blah. He's doing it because it's fun.
It's fun, and he probably likes the visual, and it's
Yes.
just it's whatever, you know.
And these guys are having fun. These guys probably hooked up with the Stairmaster chicks.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here with fucking Rich eating dainties. What the hell do we know?
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, Nick prefers that, but let's continue. Who knows what's next? How low can it
Good
go?
call.
Headshot across the day. I was dreaming.
Oh my God.
You need a lot to dream of. I say, mama, eat a little ain't enough for me.
Okay, so his adventures. This is the best video of all time.
Yeah.
Opening car, giant graffiti wall, chicks doing flies, chicks doing the Stairmaster, chicks giving him a massage, Al Jolson, little people doing dances. Now he's in a football stadium with Dave on the giant Tron. By the way, these are the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and Dave is dancing around them. And if that wasn't enough, he's wearing cow pattern chaps. I mean, come
He's
on.
arguably the sexiest person in this shot.
He is. This is the greatest he's ever looked.
And like I said, it wasn't like, oh, let's see if we can get these cheerleaders and he'll just show up. No, he planned every stitch of clothing.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
And it's also not, can we get some cheerleaders? Can we get the Dallas Cowboy
right.
cheerleaders?
Yeah.
And Roth holds enough power to where they show up.
Yeah.
Chris, have you ever owned a pair of cow pattern chaps?
I've not.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, there's still time.
Yes, and is the preferred improv term.
I tried to jump in. There's still time. Maybe you can get some. I was going to say he's the only man invited to this, too. This is just a practice.
This is like every Van Halen show where after the show, Dave handed out the backstage passes. Of course, you guys know the numbers and the colors and all that stuff. This is his life.
Yeah.
This is not like a weird thing. Like, oh, I don't know, how am I going to deal with 15 hot chicks and just me? This is what he did every single night on tour.
And every stop he made while he's driving around his neighborhood
Yeah.
There's a 7-Eleven. There's 10 women in bikinis dancing around him. And he's just going through the freezer looking for an ice cream bar or
They're
whatever.
like whirling sexy dervishes.
Yeah, and he doesn't care.
And I like how this is a continuation of the Just a Gigolo video where he's just wandering into things.
Yeah.
Like he wandered into the
That's
Billy
right.
Idol video or whatever it was.
I always think of Pulp Fiction with Samuel Jackson. It was like, I'm just going to wander the planet having adventures. That's what Dave's doing.
In my peak Jeep.
That's it.
Did you hear that tasty riff, Nick?
Yes, so far there have been many of those sprinkled within.
Once again, we're talking about the video, but the track is great, and the guitar playing of Jason Becker is just top notch. How Roth was able to find these guys, like to go from Van Halen, who's arguably still the greatest of all time, but a very worthy replacement in Steve Vai. Then Steve leaves, right? And then to pull in Becker, who's a fucking nobody, but the guy has got the chops, man.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
And the guy just wrote an album with his eyes a couple years ago.
That's true. True story.
Right. Where
He has his dad has arranged an eye chart, so because all he can do is blink, so he blinks up, and that's like an A. He blinks up, and that like it's a really intricate.
Yeah.
And those are the notes
and
that he wants to
composed
play.
an entire album.
Jeez.
He composed it, and then he gets like Marty to come play, or Neil Sean's played a lot of those cats. There's a great video of Eddie Van Halen meeting Jason.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see it?
Yeah.
Like I think maybe from 2006 or maybe earlier, maybe 95, 98. And Eddie, it's one of the most heart-wrenching things. You see just how cool of a fucking dude Eddie Van Halen is. He kisses him on the cheek.
Yeah.
He gives him a
That's
guitar.
great.
He hangs
Yeah.
out with him. Very, very emotional stuff.
And there was a documentary, right?
Yes.
And I remember the one thing I remember from, I think it was the trailer for it, was because Becker can't really move like at all.
Can't at all.
And he still, though, he was making the software speak for him.
Jeez.
And it was something like, my name is Jason Becker, the sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
You could
He's-
see in his
he's- yeah.
eyes that there was like a,
He's funny.
Yeah, a little smirk in his eyes.
I for a brief period of time I had a contact with him, not to name drop, but actually Joe Satriani hooked me up with a contact for him because I was playing with the idea of having him on Talk is Jericho, and the only thing they said is it takes him a while. He can do it, but you would have to take like probably a 4-hour interview and edit it down to 45 minutes, and it just never came to fruition. But I was like, it'd probably be pretty hard to do, but if I could edit it properly, it'd be pretty fucking cool to have.
be
that.
That'd
really
be pretty
cool.
incredible.
You know, you could put in the time and just make it good.
Would
Do
you
it.
have to change the name of the show to Blink as Jericho if you had him on?
That's
That
not.
or-
It's too soon.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
At that point, actually, it's true. It would
See,
be.
I'm
Jericho.
speaking out of jealousy, though. The Jason Becker is a man who can blink and compose an entire album of presumably intricate music. Yes,
And I'll say this: he never got to tour with Roth, but if he was making a record with Roth, he pulled some chicks.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
No
sure.
doubt.
of course.
He probably all these Dallas Cowboys. Here's nothing too though. Dave has no band in this video.
No.
You notice that? It's just Dave.
I wonder why that was.
He's probably
Maybe-
sick of Steve Vai.
Yeah.
But I was about to say that Jason Becker can
He's not there anyway, but he's still sick of him.
Jason Becker can accomplish all this stuff with all this stuff, everything stacked against him. One of the worst diseases
Yeah.
you could possibly have. I can't even get into a fucking hotel without a room key tonight. I can't even walk into the goddamn lobby. That shows you the difference between me and Jason Becker, I'll tell you that.
Chris L.
Visibly, what does he say? Visibly, what's the word?
Barely visible.
Chris L. barely visible beyond the lobby desk on a bed in the room with his broom cake.
Jeez, come on, Dave. Leave some for the rest of us. Andy, before we get in the solo, a couple things here.
I was getting woozy for a second. I almost fell backwards.
Dude,
Sorry.
I mean, all these chicks are different chicks too. Dave is the king of everything. I'm giving. He had 3 guys doing a wave, which is a classic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Dave. And another thing we'll talk about too is that we mentioned Steve and Billy from Dave's previous band. Greg Bissonette is still on drums on this album, and he's playing great. If you guys have noticed,
And probably his brother on bass.
Matt
yes?
Bissonette on bass. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's got he was like Ozzy for a while. He had the best players in the world because everyone wanted to play with Ozzy or wanted to play with David Lee Roth, right?
He's doing like windshield wiper. Oh no, they're back.
Oh boy.
But we'll get to that.
We'll get to
What do
them.
you guys think of the lead?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's not overdone. It's not like
Yeah. They didn't give
constant
him 12,
shredding.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, so it's memorable. It's melodic.
Showed the guy had taste too. Which
Yeah.
you have to have. It's like when Chris will bag on Mark St. John of being in Kiss because it's just a shredder. You can't be just a shredder to be in Dave's band. You have to be able to play sensible shoes as well.
And you have to have some personality to your playing, and
Right.
that's what Becker certainly had that.
I like in the video how David Lee Roth's doing a karate kick solo.
Yeah,
There's no one in the band is in the video, so he has to do something during the solo.
all the women are holding guitars.
Oh,
They're not-
good call.
They're not playing them,
No.
but he's
But he composed the kick solo. He's thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do the one with the right leg around this way, and then straight up.
Well, if you remember Van Halen, like I think especially 1984 tour, Eddie had a solo, Alex had a solo, Mike had a solo, and Dave had a solo. What does Dave play? Swords.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that? He just would spin swords.
Yeah, or those ribbon things.
Yeah, that was his
like
solo.
Doing interpretive dancing
And
on
what
stage.
or he'd kick a balloon.
That takes a lot of balls to go in front of 10,000 people at a rock and roll show
It does.
and do a fucking ribbon dance.
Yeah, but when you're David Lee Roth,
Good point.
I
I
mean-
probably would have enjoyed that more than the Michael Anthony solo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would have. What was the other thing he used to do? This was like when Van Halen came back. I don't know what that was, 15 years ago. Or
Flag.
something. No, he had like not like a kendo stick or something, and he would do like a baton thing.
That's exactly what it was, just a baton.
Okay, and he would do like a twirling
Yeah.
thing,
Then
and he hit himself in the head with it. Do you
Jimmy
remember that?
Kimmel.
And Jimmy Kimmel.
He sliced his nose open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they edited it on the actual show, but you can find the unedited one. It's during Panama.
Yeah.
So they open with Panama. He comes out and spins it around. Right before the first vocal, he's checking his nose, and it's fucking dripping blood.
oh, I've never seen
So
that.
he's looking at
Yeah.
Ed, and he's like, "Look at Eddie, my nose." And Ed's like, "What's going on?" And he leaves the stage. He goes, "I'm sorry, guys. I cut my nose. I got to get stitched up. I'll be right back." Meanwhile, this is one of the coolest things you'll ever seen. It's Van Halen brothers, well, obviously with Wolfie, the Van Halen family, just jamming, improv jamming, because they don't know when Dave's coming back. So it's like,
Oh, cool.
It's really, really cool for guitar aficionados like us.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he comes back eventually and nails whatever they were
But
doing.
he's also got a giant fucking. He's got a
got like
giant bandit on his nose. It's so bad.
It's like when that bird flew into Fabio's face on the roller coaster.
Was vaccinated with a phone and
Good Lord.
one summer break.
There's the
Oh
African
boy.
chef.
Oh boy.
They're gonna bust into "Hooked on a Feeling." It sounds like.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Wow.
This is amazing. Chris, can you explain what's
Yeah,
going on right here?
They've brought back the midget minstrels, we'll call them. But they're doing the jazz hands with the black gloved hands, and then they're miming along to the ooh ah.
Well, that's actually not in the song, right? I think that's
Right.
just for the video.
I think
That's
it's for the
for the
video.
Yeah, one of those.
Which is, again, to go out of your way to have it in this scene is really over the top.
Kissed her on her daddy's boot. Shot across the leg.
Andy, can you please just rewind that for
Yeah.
us? Just so you guys know, this is not in the recorded version of the song.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about a lyric, if that's okay, real quick.
please.
I
Sure.
kissed her on her daddy's boat and shot across the lake. That's what he's saying here
That is
in
true.
the pre-chorus.
That is
Incredible.
true.
Yeah.
That's a great visual.
That's like going crazy again. He's talking about you're
Got
messing
drunk and fell into the water.
you're messing with the mayor's daughter, right?
Say that again, though. Say it.
Oh,
Say the line.
you're messing with the mayor's daughter?
Oh no!
That's right.
That's
yeah.
the overdub.
Same summer that I kissed her on her daddy's boat and shot across the lake. Yeah!
Just stop for a second. This is so great when you see the minstrels because he's got different sizes, but they're all arranged like a U. The
Yeah.
taller ones on the outside. This is not a coincidence, as you guys know. And their dance moves are as bad. If you guys ever seen when they used to have pop-up video,
Yeah.
and they would have Van Halen, they do Hot for Teacher. You see just how badly out of sync the dancing is.
Yeah.
These guys are completely
Terrible. Yeah, they're not dancers.
They're not,
Yeah,
and they're really bad at the low end of the U.
And
Yeah.
I think as far as arranging the people, Dave's only experience before this was doing a little league photo.
Yeah, he just
The
stops.
tall ones over here.
He stops his Jeep and takes a picture of a little league team. He's having as much fun as he's having any other time. The other thing I wanted to comment on, at first I was thinking like, oh, were these people not really into it? They were all 100% into that dance.
Completely.
How
Yeah,
could
they
you-
loved it.
How could you not be?
They weren't just doing the motion. They were all
were
100
thrusting.
Yeah, they were having. You know, he probably gave a pep talk. He got everyone fired up.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I know you're dressed like black minstrels, but give it all you got.
They were ready to go through a brick wall for Dave right there.
Yep.
Mama said living in a loud should be.
Ghetto Blaster with a satellite and a siren on it. Okay.
He's a fortune teller now.
This is so great.
Yeah.
So, for those not watching at home, there's something like in a pawn shop or something or whatever, some seedy place, and some guys walk by with, we used to call them ghetto blasters, but they're called boom boxes now. It's the longest boom box ever.
It's like 12 feet long or something.
And if you see, there's a siren, a satellite dish, and then a siren.
Yeah. Again, the brainchild of David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Nobody else is coming up with that.
Yeah, this isn't just some director's idea.
Yeah, and then they go into a fortune teller's room with a crystal ball.
And it's Dave.
Is Dave the fortune teller?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't
I'm
know. Is
pretty
it-
damn sure. Look at his
I-
face.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, Dave versus Dave. I get it.
Yeah.
Now they've got the William Shatner, Captain Kirk versus evil Captain Kirk split screen gimmick here.
Another thing, same thing as the massage parlor. Every time I drive past a fortune teller, I think, who's stopping there? How are they in business?
Right.
David Lee Roth's going there. That's who's going.
Can I just say there was a super tasty lick right
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
Like kind of a sweep almost.
Yeah.
Sweet stuff, very Vi-like.
Good
but,
call.
Which I saw a video of. I forgot the name of the
Becker?
band. Him and Friedman were in-
Cacophony.
yes, I saw a video of when they were doing a show at a club, and they were trading off solos.
Yeah.
Just no drums, bass, anything. Just,
Oh, yeah.
just them trading off solos, and Friedman's doing cool stuff, and then Becker comes in after a few turns and just sweep. The crowd goes nuts.
Yeah.
It's like that always gets the crowd.
That's the one that gets them. And here in the video, we now see it looks like it might be a dream sequence or something.
Yeah, it's
Diamond Dave, the absolute final tour, sold out at Anaheim Stadium. So this is, it might not be a dream, but it's not the final tour on the Lil Ain't Enough tour. So I'm assuming this is going to be looking into the future.
mm-hmm.
So in '91, were there acts that were doing faux final tours like they are now? Because this joke seems a little ahead of its time with the absolute
The,
final
call.
the Who's first farewell tour was in 1983.
Good
so,
call. That's
Okay.
true.
Yeah. Can I go back though to the fortune teller sequence?
Sure.
Is there is there possible to have an easier fortune to read than David Lee Roth? It's like you will be getting laid later tonight. You will be surrounded by busty babes at all times. You will have a fire extinguisher in your Jeep. I mean,
maybe he knew all that and he just stopped by to hear somebody tell him that, and then he just slapped a 10 on the table and walked out.
just wanted to make sure the guy was legit. You know?
Yeah. You're gonna have the best day ever, just like you do every day.
You're going to end up being a paramedic in New York City. No, sorry, that never happened.
That's how you know that the fortune teller is bullshit. If you're David Lee Roth and he says, you will face some challenges in your life, but you will get through them courageously.
Did you guys miss that joke? You know,
No,
that,
I got it.
Yeah, did you know that Dave was
He
a
did that,
paramedic
right?
in New York City?
Yeah.
Just to do it. He didn't need the money.
Just because he has adventures.
Right.
That's what he does.
Yeah, because I think most people would think, oh, well, he must have been.
It's the
not you're down on your luck, but like, oh, he had to go get a real job. No, he didn't have to. He just
the
did it.
aforementioned US Festival that Dave showed up like 7 hours before the gig, and no one knew if he was going to be there because he was in the Congo. I'm not joking. He was literally in the Congo, and they're trying to get. Like, 1983, there's no cell phones in the Congo.
He was casting midgets for his next video.
For his video, the fortune teller said, "You must go to the Congo to cast midgets for your video in 1991," and he did it.
He was out there hanging out with the Belgians in the Congo.
David Lee Roth tells a fortune. News at 11.
Oh, wait a
Oh
minute.
my gosh.
Hold on a second.
Oh my God.
This is great.
A month from now.
Yeah.
I bet you this must have come out October 10th, 1991.
So 30 years.
And we're recording this September 5th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
This is October 10th, 2021. So 30 years later. That's crazy. It's almost 30 years to the day, give or take a month.
There's the security guard from downstairs.
Yeah,
at the hotel.
exactly.
He's wearing a giant room card vest. That's what they do now in 2020. A month from now, Chris, you won't have to worry about it. Just put your vest on.
Yeah. Back away, please. My talent is climbing out of this hovercraft.
Can I just
say
say this? You guys mentioned earlier about a fat suit.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see the return of the David Lee Roth fat suit because looks like he's got a fat head there, unless it's an alien head or something.
Let's see how accurate this is to whatever Gene Simmons had to say about Dave in 2021.
He looks like a bloated Elvis.
He does.
He loves the fat suit.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Gene didn't watch any of the gigs that Dave played with Kiss and just saw the Lil Ain't Enough
watched
video in
this video.
2021 and just said, well,
Look, he's so fat now.
He thought it was a documentary.
You know when this when this episode comes out, it's going to be almost this date.
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
You
It's
should
close.
probably save it for October 10th, 2021.
If it's a Monday,
yeah,
we
what
might
day of the
save
week
it.
is that? Because that's
It's apropos.
absolutely
It's amazing.
crazy.
This is crazy to see this. Like we said, Gene thought he was watching a documentary, and that's why he was burying
the Monday.
It's-
There's a Monday, October 11th.
Oh, one day off.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. So edit that out. 30 years ago today, this came out.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right, let's finish it off here. Why is he doing that? Just because he can.
He's
Yeah.
still David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
He looks more like kind of a what's Reverend Jim Baker's wife?
Tammy Faye
Tammy
Baker.
Kind of a Tammy Faye Baker type gimmick going on here.
He looks a little bit like
That's
Paul
nice.
Williams too, for
Yes,
some
yeah, that's a
reason.
good
A
call.
little CeCe DeVille.
Another
There you
Cece.
go.
Paul Williams, another diminutive individual.
He might have been an extra in that scene.
You could barely see Paul Williams over the fucking podium when he won his 16th Grammy.
Or above the podium on his millionth appearance on Match Game 75.
Or the Muppets.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Freeze frame video.
That is so funny. The date that came up, it's pretty much that date right now. And the whole Gene thing about the fat Elvis.
Yeah.
It all is tied in together.
I think Andy nailed it. I think Gene saw this video and thought, like, oh, Dave's looking terrible now.
He just walked by backstage and someone had this on.
Yeah, he had no idea.
Thought it was a monitor of outside in the arena. Yeah. Ooh.
I got to tell you, once again, too, so this song video side was filled with some tasty licks and some tasty fucking
plus,
drumming
plus
as well.
Who doesn't love a big rock ending like you got there on a studio cut?
Right. It sounded like a live version, right? Yeah.
Exactly. You didn't fade it out. You had your big concert ending.
You we'll listen to it later after the show, but please go listen to this record, and specifically It's Showtime. One of the greatest Van Halen related tracks of all time. But that one right there, I mean, dude, that was the first single for the album, and I don't know what it did on the charts or whatever, but that's as good as it gets for this type of music for me.
Yeah.
Whatever it did, it didn't do high enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, times were changing.
And
I
if
guess.
this is October 10th, 2021, I think Cobain started his raising of the entire fucking rock industry in probably about September of 91.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that
it
right?
was the third, fourth week of September 1991 when Nevermind came out.
So
2 weeks before this.
the fate was sealed before it even came out.
Yeah.
And this, like, what chance does Warrant have, for example, whatever, if David Lee Roth is going down in flames? Because, like you said, the VH survived, but that's because they ingratiated themselves into the angst and anger of the scene. Roth is not playing that game.
No.
Roth is going to have chicks working out, tits hanging out, asses, midgets, fucking giant jeeps,
minstrels,
graffiti,
fat shaming.
Roth
people
came out
at
with
the end.
fat suits, cowboy hats.
Roth came out with Slam Dunk, I think, during the grunge era, right?
He did, and I actually
Big time.
I actually saw a David Lee Roth solo show at the Metro around that time. So like 1,000 seat
98.
arena. No, it was probably closer to 94, 95.
I was in WCW when Slam Dunk came out, so it was 97, 98.
Oh,
so
okay.
That might have been
you're
pre-
thinking my Filthy Little Mouth era, which came out in
might have been
94.
it.
Yeah.
But the thing I remember about Dave is from that show was he had like a white kimono type top on, like Swayze's and Roadhouse in that one sequence.
Nice.
And tucked into a tight pair of black jeans. Throughout the show, the sweat stain in his groin area just started as a small dot right around where his dick is, and it expanded out to cover his whole midsection.
Nowhere else on his
see.
body was sweating.
No, it wasn't.
His head was
It
dry as a
incredible.
bone.
It was awesome.
I remember seeing Roth around that time frame because he had some kind of a Las Vegas show at that point in time. And this was the lineup on the Carson show because Johnny was still there. It was Johnny, and it might have been Jay, but I think it's Johnny. Robin Williams and David Lee Roth.
Oh, my.
And Dave, like, listen, Dave's hit or miss on those types of shows, and this tonight he was missing. He was bombing huge.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point he looked over at Robin Williams with that Dave smile, and Robin, he didn't say it, but he was almost like, not even I can save you, buddy.
Yeah. Like,
You're on your own.
yeah. Let's just wait.
He's like, well, I'm playing this show at the Hard Rock, and if you have a $20 chip, it's got my face on it. If you got a $5 chip, it's got Eddie's face on it, and it's only redeemable if you want to use the pay toilet.
And then no one's laughing.
Yeah, and it's like, pay toilet? Seriously, in 95? And Robin was just like, ooh, hello. Not even I can save you, Mr. Roth.
He covered his face in whipped cream, hit himself.
Because he just had whipped cream on him at all times.
Yeah, of course. Behind the couch. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
gotta love the internet. That David Lee Roth show I saw April
Nice.
Fool's Day, 1994, and yes,
What's the set list?
You Really Got Me, Big Train, Panama, Experience, She's My Machine, A Little Luck, Your Filthy Little Mouth, Just a Gigolo, I Ain't Got Nobody, Beautiful Girls, Hey You Never Know, Nightlife, Just Like Paradise, Cheating Heart Cafe, Land's Edge, Ain't Talking About Love, California Girls, Ice Cream Man, Jump.
That's terrible because the only solo tunes he played, besides Just Like Paradise, were all from that album.
Yeah.
Nothing from Lil Ain't Enough,
Yeah.
nothing from Skyscraper.
Nothing from Eat 'Em and Smile, yeah.
I hate that shit. Like I said, when he did the Kiss thing, I would have come out there. Obviously, you can't. But if I was a true artist, I would just done the whole Eat 'Em and Smile album in its entirety. Go fuck your ass.
Yeah.
Anyways, Lil Ain't Enough. Great
Lil Ain't
tune.
Enough. Who wants to vote first? Nick?
I'll go first.
Nick's
sure.
going to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch?
So sweet.
Oh, yeah.
It's sweet surrender.
Shell, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love this song. Listen to it on the regular. You know what we were talking about before we started recording? We were talking about SNL impersonations.
Yes.
Chris Kattan did a pretty hilarious David Lee Roth.
Did he really?
Yeah, I don't know, you never saw that one?
I don't think I did.
Pretty funny. It's all
Bozy Bop.
Yeah,
and
it's all
stuff.
just
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Gigolo.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Very,
yeah, I remember.
very
that.
funny though.
And he just keeps opening his mouth real wide. Like mugging and scatting.
So I recommend that to everybody out there. Yeah, this is a really cool album. I've listened to it once or twice. I don't own it. I probably should. But yeah,
You don't have to own anything now, my friend.
Well-
just go to Spotify.
Yeah, this title track though, I listened to it quite a bit. It's great. It's got really great little guitar moments. Dave sounds great, and watching the video with it, unbelievable.
Yeah.
What an experience! How much fun is
Yeah.
that video? I mean, I
Agreed.
dare say, I know Gene's the one who said it, but I dare say I don't know if Paul was ever quite this fun in a video. He was close.
He's close.
Did he reach this level?
I don't know. It's different. It's different.
different,
Different
yeah.
but similar, but not
When
quite
I think
this
of one of our first meetings for Turn on the Night, like that to me is Lil Ain't Enough Turn on the Night is Paul's version of Lil Ain't Enough. The difference is Kiss would skate around the chicks.
Yeah.
Dave is not subtle. Like
No.
he's got probably 50 chicks in this video,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them. And this is not being sexist. If you watch the videos, every one of them is 1,000% amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
Yep.
Kiss never did that.
No.
They kind of Heavens on Fire was this for X and Sex, kind of, but we don't want to go into that. Kiss was never this fun.
Well, and Kiss always had to have the performance footage mixed
And
in.
listen, Kiss is a band. This
Yeah,
is Dave.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Dave was smart too because Dave not smart. Dave put his coin in the band bucket with Steve and Billy and Greg. Kind of did that on Skyscraper. This one is I'm doing it myself. I'm going on my own. It could be me and the rock and roll boners backing me up. Nobody cares. To an extent, he's right. But I don't think there was ever really a tour on this. I think the arena. Well, I don't think Jason toured on it anyways. But whatever he did, it was not up to snuff for the other tours.
Yeah. The
Same thing
business
that
straight up.
Yeah, same thing happened to Ronnie James Dio. He put together Dio with Vivian and Jimmy and Vinny Appice, and then got too big for his britches and said, "I'm just going to be Dio with a bunch of cast of characters," and it died. Same thing happened with Roth
Yeah.
on this album.
Do you think that's the reason though, or you think it's just a coincidence?
Oh, I think Ozzy got away with it because Randy died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he had no choice but to continue on. But once he got Zach, when Zach left Ozzy's band,
Yeah.
and Chris, do you agree with me on this? There was a downturn. He needs a great not a nameless, faceless player. He needs a guy with him. I feel Roth is the same.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Jakey Lee became that guy, and then
And Zach.
Zach did.
But then when Zach left,
Then
there was
after that,
years
it's
there was
been kind
nothing.
of a revolving door of Gus G and other
Joe
various
Holmes.
guys.
And
Joe
there's really post the original Zakk Wylde era. There's really not. I don't think any songs that I could even.
But that's my
think
point.
of.
But
Like nothing's memorable.
And Chris is talking about Your Filthy Little Mouth. I bought that album. I specifically remember buying it. It came out at the same time as Pantera, Far Beyond Driven, and the Motley Crue, John Corabi album. And those are two great albums. And the Dave album, there's nothing. I remember reading the guitar player. It was a guy called Terry Gill. This is fucking obscure. That's why you guys love me. Terry Gill Choir or something like this. Who the fuck is Terry Gilquire?
I don't know, but he should have changed his name before he got
Fucking
printed
like
on the album.
to Steve Van Halen or like it's like Van Halen, Vi, Jason Becker, who had some super huge steam, and then Terry Kilgore. That's his name, Terry Kilgore. Like, what do you like, dude? That's not gonna cut it.
No.
So when you said you went to that gig, Chris, with all these songs with no hotshot fucking gunslinger, it takes away some of the fun.
Yeah, the band was pretty lame.
Stock.
They were not impressive in terms of like. I mean, they played the songs well, but they,
But that's what Dave had when he did the Kiss show. He had like a competent band, 3 guitar players. Like, I don't know if you guys know, like who Steve Brown is. Steve Brown was in Trickster. I was
Trickster,
like,
yeah.
Get a fucking Steve Brown or some guy that has some name value. Instead, it was 3 nameless, faceless guys, but it was still good. There was just no sidekick. You need a sidekick when you're that type of guy.
Yeah,
You know?
that's perfect way to say it. Who wants to vote next?
I'll go next.
All right. Sweet Surrender, kick in the crotch.
Chris Jericho chooses Sweet Surrender. Moves at 11.
It's Sweet Surrender.
Shell, yeah. Once again, right from the moment that this was suggested, I was in. Love this song, love this album, love the fact that I used Dave's line. It's a fine line between a kick in the pants and a pat in the back, let's dance. And this really is, to me, one of the classic tunes in the Roth solo pantheon. And I don't think a lot of people know because people were into Eat 'Em a Smile. They were into Skyscraper, but Lil Ain't Enough, for reasons we discussed, kind of slipped through the cracks. This is up there. It's a great album and a great open. This is the opening track on the album too, for people that don't know. And like Nick said, the chorus just grabs you. Great harmonies, great playing, great lyrics, great riff. It's a perfect song for me. So 10,000% Sweet Surrender.
And lyrically speaking, the chorus could be a Ray Charles song if it's done in a different style. I mean, it's not saying much. It's like Baby What I'd Say.
No, and Roth has that,
Yeah.
He's always had that. He's more of a vaudevillian performer than anything. And this could be sung by Ray Charles's band. It could be a rap song. It could be a thrash song. A great melody can be sung by anybody because it's the melody. So this, I know we're an audio show. The video is just by far one of the greatest videos from this era, in my opinion.
Yeah. If
That's
you haven't
pretty
watched
good.
it, watch it now. Chris L.
Sweet Surrender for sure.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Yeah, outstanding stuff. Another element of this album that we haven't talked about, but is also adds to it. Great cover of this album, the Devil.
Yes.
With just the lettering on it is.
But it's
really
a
great.
classic because Roth came up with the covers for all Van Halen records too.
Yeah.
It's a classic kind of abstract image, but if you think about it, it's really cool.
Yeah. Like I said, my favorite cut on this album is Sensible Shoes. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's brilliant. And huge fan of this one.
I, too, will give it a Sweet Surrender. Come on.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Before you start, I have to laugh at fucking Jolene Turner's super obscure Malmsteen song. I don't remember the name of the song. Was it Crystal Ball or what song is it?
Heaven Tonight.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Like, no one in the world even knows what this is.
That was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, our first non-Kiss song that we ever just decided
And you were
to do.
laughing about
so.
Sweet Surrender being the lyric.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just.
Because they say it's Sweet Surrender in the lyric, right?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing, yeah.
It's so funny.
Yep.
I was watching. Just on that note, I was watching Aerosmith live at Donington today on Access TV, and "Sweet Surrender" is a lyric, and I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
the power ballad. It's like no man would ever say that. It's a woman's sentiment.
Only
Sweet
Jolene
Surrender.
Turner can get away with that with his wig.
Yeah, exactly, and his Long Island accent.
Go ahead, ALB.
I was going to say, what a fun song. What a fun video. Fun's
Great call. Fun.
Fun is the word. He's having fun. And like I said, watching this, it's like you could probably do 2 different episodes. I'm not suggesting that we do, but you could do 2 different episodes. One just on the video and one turn the video off and really pay attention to every line and everything that happens, because there's a lot that happened in this song, like a lot of great puns or turns of phrase that Dave does.
In every Roth song, you get that.
Yeah.
Brilliant lyricist, underrated.
Yeah, but also the video, like I said, it's just imagining, like, you know, whatever you got going on in your life, if you're like, oh, man, I got to go to work, I got to do this, I got to do that. You're like, I want to do what he's doing. He's just going around having fun all day. Everywhere he stops, he doesn't even have another emotion. Like, I'm sure he does, but in the context of this video, it's like the only thing he knows is just having fun everywhere he goes. I feel like if there was like a bummer around him, he wouldn't even notice. He's just having fun in his own head.
Well, it's like we said, he travels the world having adventures.
That's it.
Like, his life is one of my favorite lives. Like, his recent Roth, like, I think it was probably 8 to 10 years ago, maybe less, 6 to 8. He just shows up with full Japanese body tattoos.
Right.
But Yakuza style, so where they end on his T-shirt, so he can still wear a T-shirt. And if he wears it open, you can't see anything. But you take his shirt off, it's full body tattoos all down his ass. Like, why would you do that? Because he's David Lee Roth. He has adventures.
So it's like a V shape or something in the front?
It's more like like if you opened your shirt and there was a full line down from your chest to your belly.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. And there's nothing past his short sleeve. So he could wear like a short sleeve dress shirt open.
And you don't see anything.
And you don't see anything.
You take it off, it's his whole
And it's his whole
cover.
thing. You see that on the Jimmy Kimmel where he slices his nose. He's wearing it's so stupid I didn't even know this. He's wearing a jean jacket open with the sleeves rolled up.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's one of those things, like, if you're super on Yakuza, which is Japanese Mafia, which does not exist, by the way, don't fucking come after me, you get these full body tattoos, but you don't want people to see them when you go out in public. So that's why you do it where the sleeves can still hang out, the arms can hang out, there's open spaces. But when you take it off, that's when you're like, oh, we're fucked. Like, this guy's full on. And Roth, just for some reason, went, I'm going to get full-on Yakuza body tattoos.
So is it to show that, like, you're a crazy person when you take your shirt off?
It's like colors, like gang colors.
Yeah, gang colors. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, this is the same guy who was having a ball just simply observing a transaction at a pawn shop for a boombox. Right. He didn't have anything to do with it. Just watching.
Oh, so great.
Is it true that you can't go to certain places in Japan if you have visible tattoos?
To this day.
Really? So that's part of the reason they cut it off.
True story.
Yeah.
There's still hotels there. Like, I didn't have a sleeve in the 90s when I worked there, but now that I do, you have to wear a long sleeve shirt to go to the gym to work out. Because Yakuza has a lot of power and they're very kind of scary types of people. But once again, they don't exist, so don't come after me.
Is it just like, I don't know. I guess it's just a cultural thing. I'm just trying to think of what the reason is. It's like disrespect or something to have visible tattoos showing? Or
Yeah, well, no, it's because they think you're Yakuza.
Oh, okay. So they just don't want that.
Yeah, they don't want that element there.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. But they don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay, so, hey guys, 4 Sweet Surrenders wins you a trip to the next round.
This is great.
Speaking of stuff that
All right, Hammond, I got a question for you.
allegedly doesn't exist, I was driving behind a guy yesterday.
I love
he had a
stories
he had a bumper sticker that said "Birds aren't real."
I've seen that.
What is that?
What does that mean?
I think
I
it's...
don't know.
I hope... Because I looked at the website one time because I saw someone put one on a stop sign by my house. And I'm like, what is birds? I have to find out what this is. And I think it's like satirical of like conspiracy theories.
Okay.
I think. If it's not, God help us all.
Well, would you be surprised if it was?
Well,
if
just the
there
way it
was
was written. It was too much. It was way too far.
Well, here's the problem. Well, I didn't want to get into this, but the basic thing is that when birds were trying to come back to their nest, there was an eagle in front that was asking for room cards for the nest. Do you have a nest card so you don't interrupt my egg talent? And then the fucking birds didn't have it, so they disappeared. It caused a big brouhaha. Full story how birds aren't real. I'm Tom Simmons on Patriotic Park 5. I love how every episode we create characters. We're like,
this guy was ready made. The crusty old newscaster who hates short people
yeah,
was just dropped in our laps.
Combined with the
nowhere.
pretentious security guard who wouldn't let his talent be Meanwhile, his talent was accosted every time I leave my fucking room. Coming down here, I'm on the 8th floor. You guys on the 5th floor. I had to talk to 2 fucking dweebs from Columbus for 5 minutes as the elevator wasn't coming up. So did you guys have a good time with the show?
Oh, thanks for having a great match, man. You guys are great. Fuck, man. Can I take a picture with you?
I'm just standing there. Please let the elevator door open. Please.
Guys, my phone doesn't work, man.
Where was Mr. Security Guard then?
Exactly.
Exactly.
These guys had room keys and they're fucking bugging you. We're sitting here hanging out without any room keys, but I couldn't get into the fucking hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Dickhead.
Bugging the talent. Bugging the sea level.
I can't have you bothering my talent. First of all, it ain't your talent. You don't have shit.
I think to you he said. I think he said to you, you can't be bothering my sea level talent. I believe is what
whatever.
He said.
It's
You don't have shit, Chris says.
You're escorting people out of Escalades as they arrive at the hotel. Don't give me your talent. Fuck off.
I love Chris L. rants.
Yeah.
I also love the instrumental giant cowbell that keeps playing back there. Oh, this
Fun to listen
This is
to.
the greatest show of all time.
My vote's in.
Oh yeah.
Chris J.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So, as you know, it has to be unanimous. It has to be not 1, not 2, not even 3, but 4 votes in the direction of a rock and roll boner for this to achieve rock and roll boner status. How are we going to do it, Nick? Lay out an arrangement here.
Me, Chris L, Chris J, Andy.
Counterclockwise. All right.
Cowbell's awesome.
It is the best.
Rock.
And
Roll.
Boner.
It's a rock and roll bone, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
We did it. We got it.
Yeah, no
I
doubt
feel
about it.
that most of the ones we've done have been rock and roll bonias.
Like, I would say 75% probably.
Was Anvil rock and roll bonia?
No, it was
Chris would
not.
cut that down.
Yeah.
Chris
No.
didn't make it to the next round on
No.
that one.
No.
I did get an angry text from Rob Reiner about our podcast.
Which one?
you're not serious.
I'm serious. The director was
The
not
director.
happy.
Oh, okay.
No, honestly, if Lips knew how to work social media, he'd probably be very hurt that we said what we said.
Yeah. Glad that didn't happen.
Rob Reiner, the designer, was pissed off about our comments about his cut-off jean shorts and all the things.
The designer, the director.
Director.
He's
whatever.
thinking fashion designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a third Rob Reiner now.
Oh, dude, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Just wait till we pull that one up
Okay.
on the Bozo computer.
All right.
Oh,
well.
what a great time.
Well, if you disagree with us, you'd be crazy. But
We
if
would
you
be.
do, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Deal with it.
Andy, once again, Marty Friedman had some different reasons why he didn't want to be in Megadeth anymore, and then Dave Mustaine said this about him. You don't have the Dave Mustaine?
No, I don't have any of it.
Jesus, you have 16,000 fucking sound bites. You don't have the Dukla up there?
I had a computer problem.
Oh, because you're...
So
Yeah, sorry.
it's okay. They're on this one.
Just, okay, pick one. Just pick one right now. Anyone. Just close your eyes and hit one.
Okay.
Is that me?
No.
Oh, it sounds like me.
It's Juan Cruchet and the rat behind the music video.
Can you play that one again?
I was never informed about this.
I love that one.
What the hell is that about?
He's a total nut in that episode.
Of the
Hilarious.
rat behind the
Here's the other half of it. See, this is the problem. What I was saying.
Are you insane?
And then he laughs after he says that.
Like the Joker.
Yeah. Psycho.
Oh my gosh. Great. Have you guys ever done a rat episode? I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah, no, we did.
we
Nobody
did?
rides for free.
That's
Oh, it's a
Right.
shitty
Point
song,
Break.
though. It's terrible.
Right?
That doesn't get a vote for me.
No.
Right, Point Break, yes.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You guys have time for Yardo questions?
Fuck, I'm not leaving.
All right.
I got dainties and pizza and vodka.
All right.
We might even have to do another show. I'm joking.
Well, what are we going to do? We're going to do Yard?
Yes,
Yeah,
Let's do it.
you definitely are.
I don't want to do another Where Eagles Dare where I fall asleep after the fucking drum intro.
Yeah. All right.
Chris
That was
Jericho.
That was the last time we were here in person.
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
It was,
So
yeah.
did we try and do a triple?
We did
We did.
3.
Far too much.
Yeah.
That was a
2 is a
bad
max.
idea.
Oh yeah, we did the Aerosmith
yeah.
classic album clash.
And
we
then
did.
2, and we attempted to do 2 for our show. And we made it through
What was-
1.5.
well, one was Loudness, right?
Yeah.
Good memory.
Yeah. Wait, no. Loudness was the one when we were with your dad when we did Billy Squire and Loudness.
Well,
I think.
my dad wasn't sticking around for Loudness.
No, he left.
No, he
after
left
that.
after Billy Squire.
what do
He
we
had to-
do that
He had to
night?
go take a shit.
He had to go cleanse himself from our terrible fucking
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So what did we do the night of Aerosmith classic album clash?
It's a
I can't remember.
Nick's still laughing at
Sorry.
the go take a shit. It's
I
I think
just-
one of Nick's all-time favorite Pot of Thunder
I just
moments.
remember it because I had a great view of what ensued after Chris said that.
Who took a shit?
No, it was
The non-visible woman in Billy Squire's boudoir.
someone
Like
said
she went to take a dump and rifle through his wallet on the way out.
But I think what Nick is still laughing about is that he said, like, someone asked where she went, and Chris L
Just said that,
"Yeah, she went to go take a shit," and then your dad
and
like died
your
laughing.
dad threw his head back. Just left.
That's where he realized just exactly what he had gotten
Yeah.
himself into.
Yeah,
And he started looking at his watch. It's like, when is this going to be over?
Well, it got an early flight.
I'm a
2 days.
busy man. I've got to get out of here.
This is bad for our reputation to be here with you fucking guys. Even though he got in big trouble for insulting Bobby Hull in Chicago. Do you guys know that?
Did he really?
A lot of Bobby Hull fans in Winnipeg gave him
Because
crap.
he came to Winnipeg for what was it, WHL or something, or no,
WHA?
WHA. That's what
Bobby
it
Hall was the hero of Winnipeg in the
was. Yeah,
70s.
right?
Like if you grew up in the 70s like I did as a kid, he was the fucking guy.
Yeah,
He was like, Denny Savard times 10,000.
yeah. What did he say? He was a bum or something?
Well, whatever, we were there. And,
Yeah.
we brought him out of a box and
Yeah.
he gave us Rangers jersey. I'm not like Bobby Hall. That guy's a bum.
Yeah.
Boo. Why are you cutting down Bobby Hall, Teddy? He likes you. It's fucking show business.
Cancel an early version of cancel culture.
What was that? Yeah, it was that fucking night or close to it.
Yeah.
When was? Oh, that was the night before. That was not the February. That was the
That was the
time before.
Thanksgiving one.
Right.
We
Gotcha.
celebrated Thanksgiving together. I think it was the night before.
One of my most cherished
Yes.
moments.
Oh,
Nick
yes.
always gives me the fucking.
I do.
I don't
You
know.
do.
I'm blaming it on
We
you.
all do.
Blame
We
it
all
on
love.
you.
Well, we all love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the
All right. Well,
yards of
we
questions.
have a commercial,
Oh yes.
and it's
I'm
got to be a
excited.
big one.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
I cherish these
Commercials.
commercial breaks.
I like when there's 3 in a row like this.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom and see if that Billy Squire's friend is done.
I'm
in
just
there.
glad you guys get commercials so you have more money for ingredients for dainties.
All right, we're back, and it's time for.
Yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them. Swing away.
Yes, Chief.
If you grab me one of those cookies while you're up there too.
Welcome to another Pot of Thunder.
out.
Oh boy, those are
Jesus.
heavy.
Yeah, those are big sons of guns.
Fuck, man. Yeah.
Nick called them monster cookies. They're
fucking
huge.
Massive.
All right, I'm gonna pick a winner here. You bastard. Yes.
Got it?
How's that cookie? No.
Good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Butter tart is great too. Thanks, Nick.
Oh, you're welcome. I got to use my homemade vanilla for both of them.
You make vanilla?
I just learned how. It's not actually that hard, but I never knew that you could do it.
Wow.
So yeah, I got 8 jars.
You should start your own cooking show.
I'd like to.
I'll hook you up with Shep Gordon.
Sure.
He started cooking shows. You know that?
Did he?
Yeah. Or cooking superstars, yeah.
Like he created the concept?
He created the concept of the rock star chef.
Wow.
Started with Wolfgang Puck, moved to Emerald, and it all started from that.
Wow.
So you're an associate of Gordon Ramsay?
No, Shep Gordon.
Shep Gordon. Okay.
Alice Cooper's guy?
Yes. Great guy.
The Supermensch?
Yes. Stayed at his house in Hawaii twice.
Wow. Awesome.
Great guy.
Although he wouldn't let you in until you produced a room key.
And proof of vaccination with a phonograph needle. It was
exactly
weird.
right.
Until you made him an omelet or something on camera.
What?
Like a cooking show.
I get it.
I don't know why omelet
So
happened.
since we're at the yards of questions and most people have left by now, I'll tell you a funny story.
Yes, please.
So when the Hollywood Vampires were touring, you guys know that's like Johnny Depp, Alice, and Joe Perry.
And Robert DeLeo.
Yeah, and Matt Sorum, whatever. But nobody gives a shit about those guys.
Oh, I do.
So, granted. So I'm at Shep's house in Honolulu. Or sorry, in Maui. Just sitting there hanging out, whatever. This is when Joe Perry collapsed on stage, if you guys remember.
Oh, yeah.
So the Hollywood Vampires were on tour, and they were trying to figure out, this is what they're saying, should we get Steve Lukather to fill in? Should we get, there was another really high-powered, like just killer, gunslinger, whatever. And Shep's like, no, Johnny can handle it. He wants to be a guitar player. He always talks about it. This is his chance. He can do it. We're not getting a fill-in. So about an hour later, we're sitting there hanging out, whatever, snorting coke off chicks' asses, whatever. What? And what? No, joking. Phone rings. He goes, I got a call. I said, you want me to leave? He goes, no. He goes, Johnny, calm down. Here's what we're going to do. You're playing all the parts. We're not getting Lukather. You can do this. Well, Johnny, I'm telling you, you can do this. You understand me? Get ready. The show's on in about 3 hours. You're playing lead guitar, and I know you can do it. If you have any problems, call me back. You okay? You sure? All right. All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. Johnny Depp calling Shep, freaking out, and Shep talks him off the ledge as I'm sitting there like a loser. I'm like, who's a bigger star than Johnny Depp? Nobody. And Shep talked him off the ledge, and he had a great gig that night. There you go.
So he pulled off all the lead parts and everything?
Yeah, I guess they kind of, there's 3 guitar players. There's another guy that's in Alice's band too. And Shep was like, Johnny can do it, and if the ones he can't do, I think it's fucking Ryan Roxy or somebody like that, one of those cats. Right. It's like, there's no problem, but Johnny's he's a typical fucking fragile
performer,
superstar guy. Genius, fragile genius. He can totally do this. It's just cool to kind of see him work his magic.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. I don't think we've done this question, the first one. So let's try this. This Yardo Questions comes to us from James Clee.
Hello, James.
James says, question 1, right to business here. What posters were on your wall when you were 12 years old?
All mostly Kiss. Above, Andy and I were bunk bed.
Yeah.
Andy was bottom, I was top.
Yeah. 101 Dalmatians blankets.
Yeah, Smurf pillows.
Into my teenage years.
And to this day, Andy is still a bottom. So, coincidentally.
In room 516, anything goes.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't say that.
So I had the just a few feet above my head. I had Ace Frehley.
Ace Frehley lead guitar.
Where it's probably around 77, and it's just him, stage behind him, like the whole stage setup, and smoke coming out of the guitar. He's just kind of not even really playing it, more kind of holding it up. And I know I had a Kiss, probably Dynasty era, like full band shot. Man, oh man! I think as I got older, I had other stuff, but at 12, it was probably all Kiss, I think.
Yeah.
So when I was 12, I wasn't allowed to have posters up my room because I started sticking things up on the wall, and my mom said you can't. It makes like the tacks make a little hole in the wall.
Yeah.
So then she got me this wallpaper that was kind of it was some kind of material where you could stick stuff in it, and then if she didn't want to see the holes, she'd take the wallpaper down. And once I got that, it was open season. But at that point, I remember I had a giant Beatles from '63. They were really young. I was sitting on steps at the Cavern Club in color. And then it went total fucking Circus Magazine, Faces Magazine. Steve Harris was everywhere because Steve Harris is my hero. Fucking Metallica posters. And I had some great ones. You guys might remember this. I think it was from Faces Magazine. It was Motley and Rat, and they were like in a shower, and there was fucking like spitting alcohol, and someone had bought like some Chinese food noodles, and it just looked like the most debaucherous thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I remember my mom was like, "You got to take that down." I'm like, "Why?" Because those guys look like animals. I'm like, "That's the fucking idea."
Yeah.
And she never made me take it down, but she did not like that one. The Steve Harris posters were okay, but the debaucherous Rat and Motley Crue was not good.
I think there was in the little newspaper clippings collage in Decade of Decadence. I thought there was one where they're in the shower like that. I don't know
With
if it's-
Rat, and it's a Ross Halfin or Niels Loza or whatever. And I remember one day she said, like, "Why are there no girls up on the wall? What's wrong with you?" So I never thought about it. Like, fuck, the chicks are great, but fucking rock and roll is where it's at.
Yeah.
If you don't get into the rock and roll, you won't get any chicks. Like, I know how it is.
Right.
And so then I finally found this really cool, hot little model chick, and I put that one on the wall, and that made my mom happy. So I think she probably thought like maybe he's gay or something.
Yeah. she's
Meanwhile,
like,
I
okay.
just cared about rock and roll because that's how you get the chicks, you know?
Right.
What about you? Would you guys have Rich, Chriselle?
12 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had both Farrah Fawcett posters.
Still one of the classics.
The one everybody knows with her in the red bikini. Or not bikini, it was a one-piece swimsuit.
Giant nipples.
Yep. Erect.
True story. Not joking.
But I also had the other one that had kind of a blue hue to it. I can't remember if it was just the background or if her swimsuit was blue, but I had both Farrah Fawcett posters. And also I was a subscriber to Hockey Magazine, and they would have a center, like a poster in the middle. So I had like probably Marcel Dion, Mickey Redmond, the Red Wings.
Mickey Redmond, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Old school Wings before they got Yzerman, right?
Pre-Yzerman.
He was like their big star, Mickey Redmond.
You had Mickey Redmond, you had Danny Grant, you had Marcel Dion.
Oh, Marcel was in Detroit. I forgot about
before
that.
he went to the Kings.
That's right.
Yeah. These were all the Red Wings heroes when I first started paying attention to the...
Let me ask you guys a question, not to interrupt you. When you're talking about the hottest chicks ever, go to the 70s. Here's your choice. And this is what I want. This is the rock and roll bonyaye, if we were doing a Pot of Thunder, between Farrah Fawcett, this is like 1978, 77. Farrah Fawcett versus Linda Carter. Who's the hottest chick out of those two?
Linda Carter.
Chris?
Agree with that.
ALB? You might be too young.
Yeah, I mean, not too.
Might not resonate
I'm
with
38, but
that still means you weren't born till 82.
No, I know. I'm saying I could picture what I've seen them. But I wasn't a boy coming of age when they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we ain't talking about Ted Nugent. I'm going with Farrah Fawcett only because Cannonball Run, the first Cannonball Run, when she comes out of the back of the ambulance, is one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in the history of anything. I love Linda Carter, but fucking Farrah, man. Oh my gosh. She has lasted longer. You see chicks nowadays, you'll never go, oh, that chick has a Linda Carter hairstyle. You'll go, oh, she's got a Farrah Fawcett.
Right. That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's a pretty good... I wouldn't kick Linda Carter out of bed for eating crackers. Did you guys ever have that when you were kids?
Yes, everybody had that one.
Did you ever have Rod Stewart passed out with a gallon of cum in his
It was either him or, depending on
Jovi.
the day, David Bowie was the other one.
We had a
who
Bon
had
Jovi,
that.
too.
Yeah. I'll say this about Linda Carter and another incredible babe from the era, Lonnie Anderson.
Oh.
The best cleavages in the history of cleavage.
Nice.
Incredible stuff.
Was that all the posters?
I think so.
That's
yeah.
all I had.
That was all of them. All right.
Oh, I'm sure I tacked up the poster from Kiss Alive too, or from the Kiss Army kit that I got. You know, wasn't a collector, wasn't keeping them pristine. I would tack them up and destroy all collector value of it. So
You would tack him up? I tacked up a picture of Tackleberry from Police Academy.
barely visible above your dresser in your room.
Barty, barely visible above the witness table, falls short in his quest to get money from William Winkler.
What an asshole that guy was. I hated that reporter. What a fucking
dick.
asshole.
Question 2. Rich, did you have any posters? I skipped you. Keith Magnuson, maybe?
My
Dennis
dad
Savard.
beat up Keith Magnuson.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that, bud? That's one of the ones. So my dad was like, he wasn't the toughest guy in town, but if you wanted to make your name, you'd beat up Irvin. And Magnuson and Schultz came after him, and Jerry Korab. Jerry Korab and Magnuson, he I don't know if he bested, but he did okay, and Schultz beat him up.
Yeah.
Schultz beat everybody up.
Yeah.
Korab was a saber, wasn't he?
Yes, but he said Magnuson was, in my dad's words, he's way more miserable than Schultz. Schultz was tough, but he said Magnuson was scarier because he was miserable.
I had Dennis Savard, and then we had Samantha Fox.
Oh.
That's a good one. Samantha
Oh,
Fox.
fucking A, man. You know that Paul Stanley turned her into a lesbian?
Yeah.
Almost got us canceled there.
Yeah.
I asked Paul, because Paul used to bang Samantha Fox, and I read that she had become a lesbian. And I said, Paul, like, were you dating her around this time? It was like 88. And I remember you see Paul, like, in Metal Edge with her?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, let me just say I was her last... I was her last entrant in the whatever he said about males.
Okay.
I was the last entrant in the straight squad or some shit like that. So you turned Samantha Fox lesbian
And then she sold their sexy conversations to the BBC.
to the BBC. Is that her? She did it.
I think that was
her.
You sold my sexy conversations. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on the quarantine song "Heart of Chrome."
That's right.
And
The highest
Samantha
charting
Fox
version.
sold their sexy conversations
To the Big Fleet, News 11.
I'm Dave Dickhead.
And I'm
Local
John
Eyewitness
Simmons.
News.
KTLA 5.
Question 2. Ooh, what is your favorite Beavis and Butthead joke about a band or singer? That's a hard one. Does anybody remember enough of those?
I got a good one.
Okay.
They were watching Nelson, Love and Affection.
Mm-hmm.
We should do that one. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything. They were watching Nelson, Love and Affection, and he goes, "Wow, these chicks are hot."
Yeah. Yeah.
Nelsons are guys. Everyone listening at home doesn't know.
Yeah.
These chicks are hot. He had the chicks are hot. I just thought that was funny.
That is good.
He really buried Udo Dirkschneider in the Balls to the Wall video too.
Did he?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Buried him.
I remember something like there was, I think it was a Tad video.
Okay.
He was a portly gentleman.
Yeah. Drummer, right? Drummer, singer.
Was he a drummer singer?
I think so.
Oh.
And it was something, I think it was Tad, because it was like really big guys. And the lyrics of the song were, I gave my heart and soul to you. And I think Butthead said, that's like 70 pounds of meat right there.
Let me just, before you guys continue, that was totally a product of the 90s times. Because you remember when they tried to bring it back like 10 years ago? It's like,
Yeah.
it's the stupidest
No
fucking
one
thing
cares.
ever. It's,
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So you guys got any memories, Chris L? Any Beavis and Butthead memories?
No, I can't remember.
You
any
couldn't be
offhand.
bothered to watch that shit. I
watched it. I didn't retain much of it.
Question 3. When have you been delighted to hear an unexpected deep cut? For example, a TV show, a restaurant, grocery store, what have you? Have you been out somewhere or watching something and unexpectedly something came on and you're like, oh, shit.
For me, it's kind of common knowledge. This might not even fit. It's kind of cheating, whatever. But Metallica, on their 30th anniversary, they played 4 shows at the Fillmore in San Francisco, and nobody knew what to expect. You thought it might be but they all played all super obscure stuff. And the show that I saw, they opened each night with an instrumental. They opened with Call of Cthulhu, which I was like, holy shit, and they went right into No Remorse from Kill 'Em All. And I was like, this is the fucking greatest moment as a Metallica fan ever. Call of Cthulhu is super obscure instrumental, but it's amazing. No Remorse is their best song that they never play. And I was just like, this is going to be the greatest night of my life. And what they did over the course of the 4 nights was they played 20 songs a night and changed it every night.
Wow.
The only song they played every night was Seek and Destroy. The rest completely different. They learned fucking 76 songs.
And what era was this? Was this like Garage Inc., you said?
No, this is 30th anniversary. This is 2011.
Oh, okay.
So they had, like, if they had a cover, like, let's say they had a cover they had played of, I don't know, Whiskey in a Jar, which is this is a bad example because he's dead, but if they played Whiskey in a Jar, Phil Lynott would be there. If they, like, you know, if it was like whatever cover they did, like, turn the page, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Seger, and fucking Bob Seger walks on stage. Like, what is Bob Seger doing here? And then Halford and Iommi and Mustaine came and played, and Newstead was there, and Nazareth was there, and Saxon was there, and then they played all their other shit. They played so much stuff that they'd never done before. It was just one of the greatest moments ever, because if you see those 4 shows and you're a Metallica fan, you go, this is complete. They spent so much time to play these songs once.
Yeah.
Not a lot of bands would do that.
Was Danzig there?
He was.
Yeah.
For Die Die My Darling, and for Green Hell.
Green Hell,
Yep.
Oh, man. That's a tough one.
I got one while you guys are thinking. A few years ago, there was I think it was an iPhone or an iPad commercial, and it had Last Rites, Love to Death, the opening from Killing Is My Business.
Megadeth.
I'm like, why? Who thought of that in like 2019 to have it go with like slow motion footage of some bird flying?
That's
But it was
obscure.
awesome. It was. I saw it on TV and I couldn't believe it. Like who?
That's super obscure.
Like you could find it on YouTube because I watched it several times after that just to be like, did I really see this?
And what was it for?
Like an iPhone or an iPad or something. It was an Apple commercial.
Wow.
Yeah. It was. I can't believe whoever's
Last
idea.
Rites, Love to Death.
Yeah.
It makes no sense whatsoever, does
Yeah.
it?
But I'll play it for you when we're done. I'll find it.
You have something, Nick? I can't think of anything.
Well, I remember being at the supermarket during February this previous February, and this was okay. So our episodes come out on Monday. I was there the day before on a Sunday, and Andy had picked that Starbucks song, "Moonlight Feels Right."
Yeah,
and I'm at the store the day before it comes out, and I hear that song playing at the store. And I popped my cork over it because I loved it when we did the episode.
That's cool. L?
I can't think of anything.
No?
Nothing's coming to mind at the moment.
Well, too bad.
I know one for L when he was hanging out with Lips at the Metro, and they started playing Mothra over the fucking speakers when he was at the bar getting his rum and coke. I remember you appreciated that moment.
That could have been it, yeah.
And then
Sounds
Rob
vaguely
Reiner
familiar.
was super excited. And which Rob Reiner it is, tune in next week.
Rob Reiner gave
designer.
Chris
That's our cliffhanger. If that doesn't draw the folks back,
Yeah.
I don't know what will.
I'll just say that Chris L is now a metal pounder, officially.
Did you get your official card? For those who are still with us, and you shouldn't be, that listen to the Anvil show, I did send these guys a picture of my Anvil Metal Pounders Union fan club card. And what number was I? 5001 or something?
Oh, and I forgot what we even said about.
It's a real thing because I just happened to find it in my drawer. I was cleaning up my drawer. Like, there's so much shit in there. And then I pulled out, I couldn't believe it, the Anvil Metal Pounders Union membership card.
Do you think they have an Excel spreadsheet where you?
I think Rob Reiner's got a giant yellow. He's got a giant duotang with a couple of yellowed fucking foolscap writing papers.
But he's kept track of every single member.
I think because dude, he told me this is for free. And he was super intense about it.
Yeah.
And I'm scared if I ever see Lips and Rob again, they're going to kill me for our show.
Yeah. I remember what we said about it. We said that you should add it to your credentials the next time you're on a talk show. You're a Metal Pounders Union member number 53071 or whatever it is.
It could be like Oscar winner, Grammy winner, Tony winner, and Anvil Metal Pounders Union member 5621, Chris Jericho.
It probably could have gotten you into this fucking hotel tonight.
It worked. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. I can't have you bothering my talent.
Yeah. I also used it as a vaccination proof card before.
There you go.
It's like I either need to see your room key or your Metal Pounders Union card.
Yeah, right.
Are you going to Europe? You need to show proof of vaccination. Anvil Metal Pounders Union card.
Come right in, sir.
Yes.
You know, when I was in Canada, I was in Quebec.
No mask required.
I was in Quebec. I went to a Tim Hortons on my honeymoon. They didn't accept Visa, so I couldn't get anything, and I left my Metal Pounders Union card at the hotel. So I couldn't get any donuts either.
Well, that's stupid, because if you see on the sign, it says we accept Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Anvil Metal Pounders Union cards.
Canada's American Express is basically what it is.
So great.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having us out.
Thank
and
you,
showing
man.
us a great
Fuck.
time.
Yeah,
what a great
you.
time to be back with you guys again.
Yeah.
Talking a bunch of stupid bullshit live and in person.
Yes, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you want to submit your Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com and make it happen. Thank you, James Clee, for your Yardo questions. And also, you can add some songs to the listener submission list.
And thanks to Travis W. for suggesting Lil Ain't Enough.
Tyler W.
Well, his brother Travis.
Oh,
he was really behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyler's taking credit, so fuck him.
Yeah. Make sure the sticker goes to Travis. Nothing for Tyler. All right. We'll be back next week with more Pot of Thunder. That's it. We did it.
What's that last song say?
I think I'm going pee instead of I'm going blind.
I understand the fucking song.
Yeah. Because when
it's a parody of I'm Going Blind, you understand?
Yeah,
here come old prune balls. Here come old prune balls.